Check 1 2 check check check. Check 1 2 check.
Tonight is KVU's Game of the Week.
Welcome to Hutto Memorial Stadium. A beautiful night for football. It's almost seems like a early October kind of night, not the almost second week in November. And it is a just absolutely gorgeous, no wind, probably 70 degrees, and going to be a great night for football and a game that's very important between these two teams. And this is our Freedom Game. We do this every year. We normally do it the first game of the year, where we honor our veterans, our first responders, but it just so happened this year we decided to move it to our Friday night game that's right before Veterans Day next Wednesday, as we honor veterans and first responders here in the community and around the world. And we want to take a moment and hear from Coach LaPlante and a couple others just giving their thanks to our veterans and first responders.
Well, since I've got here in 2014, we've had the Freedom Game be game number one. But of course, this year we have changed Senior Night to be game number one. We want to honor our seniors. But tonight, November 6th, we got a big honorary celebration. Of course, on the sidelines, you're going to see our coaches. You see what I have on with the Rockin' H and patriotic colors. But then on the back, we wanted to showcase all our service people, all our veterans, all the armed forces. We also have our Hutto Health and Science represented as well. So just a lot of fantastic people, a lot of awesome groups, and people that we certainly appreciate what they give to our country, our city, and just service for Hutto ISD.
I'm Roy Christian, the principal at Hutto High School, and here at Freedom Game, we're here to celebrate all of our veterans and our first responders for all of their service to our community and to our state and to our country. Thank you very much for all you've done. It's definitely appreciated by everyone throughout our high school, our district, and throughout our whole country. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Selena Estrada Thomas, and I'm the proud superintendent for Hutto ISD. On behalf of the Hutto ISD Board of Trustees and all of Hippo Nation, we extend a heartfelt thank you to all of our veterans and all of our first responders. Hippo Nation would not be the same without you. I hope you know how much we love our veterans and our first responders. For me, this particular holiday is extra special. I'm not only the superintendent for Hutto ISD, but I'm also the proud mother of an active duty Marine. I have a son who's stationed in Okinawa, 19 years in the Marine Corps, and he serves the Marine Corps and this nation proudly because he loves his country, just like our veterans and our first responders love this wonderful country of ours. So once again, on behalf of the entire Hippo Nation staff and student body, we hope that everyone enjoys our Veterans Day on Wednesday, November 11th, and that we stop and take a moment to really give thanks and appreciation for those that defend our country and preserve our way of life and preserve our freedom and preserve our democracy.
Well, we certainly do thank the veterans and the first responders and just the ones that keep us safe and protect us. And next Wednesday, Veterans Day, will be a very special day. And in Hutto, every Veterans Day, doesn't matter which day of the week it falls on, our school district closes for that day. So we really just pay honor to those folks. You might notice across the field the new Hutto Fire Department ladder truck all lit up in red, white, and blue. And I tell you, it's quite a sight. And I wouldn't want to climb it, Ryan.
No, I thought it was a carnival ride when I looked over there at first.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. I know they're very proud of that. They got that in a few months back, and they like to show it off when they can, and rightfully so. Well, this is a very big game for the Hippos, big game for Vista Ridge as well. Hippos come in 3-2 on the year, 2-1 in district play. Vista Ridge comes in 5-1 on the season, and they've only lost one district game. That was to Vandergrift. Vandergrift seems to be the team that is kind of separated from the rest of the district, but you've got a herd of the rest of us all playing for those second, third, and fourth spots, and this one is one that is going to be very meaningful on down the road. And I say on down the road's not that far away, and you really, if you're the Hippos, need to hope you're going to be able to take care of this. But Vista Ridge is tough. They've got a very skilled quarterback. He was an all-state quarterback last year. And let's hear what Coach LaPlante has to say about this Vista Ridge Rangers ball team.
Well, tonight you're going to see their offense is pretty high-powered, and that's why they're sitting at 5-1, 3-1 in District 25 6A, and they're going to go as long as number 12 Brown takes him. He's very elusive. He throws the ball very well, good decision maker. You'll see him throw the middle of the field. We definitely need to control the middle of the field. One of his favorite targets is number 1. And you're going to see number 1 all over the place. Tailback, slot receiver, outside receiver. You'll see him covering our best receiver at times. And of course, our focus is not only on those 2 individuals. It's going to be stopping their entire offense. That's very balanced, about 100 yards on the ground and about 260 yards passing in the air. And then defensively, you're going to see a 4-front, so a 4-2-5 is their base, but you'll see some 4-3 principles as well. Really good attacking style defense. They have great angles. We're going to have to make them the first person miss many times tonight, because we know that number 2 and number 3 hat is going to get to the ball. So we're going to look for a fast start tonight against a good Vista Ridge ball club.
Well, and Coach LaPlante also, and we'll hear in just a second as I talk to him, we talked Monday night at the coaches show just about the importance of this football game. And, you know, the Hippos, they've been kind of Jekyll and Hyde a little bit, Ryan, this year. You know, they've had a couple of games where it's been really tough, and then some games like last week against Stony Point where they just look outstanding. And certainly on the defensive end, and I think the defense is really what's going to have to step up and carry the Hippos tonight.
Yeah, I think that's been the biggest thing so far, is just kind of the inconsistency that we've seen. You know, and one night we'll see a great performance out of the offense. Receivers are catching the balls, they're clicking on all cylinders, and on the defensive side, it's been pretty standard. You know, it's kind of that Hippo defense we're used to. Some of the scores that we've seen have been a little bit misleading. A lot of those scores coming from turnovers or from bad field position given up, things like that. We've kind of switched up our defensive scheme a little bit, though. We're going back to more of a 4-man front, kind of like we saw last year, and that's really given opportunities of Braylon Sugg and Landon Watson and goes guys like that to get in the backfield and really start wreaking some havoc.
Well, and we can't overstate, and I've said it about 3 times already, the importance of this game for each of these teams and trying to position themselves for one of those playoff spots coming up here in a few weeks. And let's hear what Coach LaPlante had to say just about the importance of this football game.
Tonight is KVU's Game of the Week. You see them live over there in the southeast corner of Hutto Memorial Stadium, and it is a big game. Certainly it's 2 good teams, Vista Ridge and our own Hippos, but for us, sitting at 2-1 in 25 6A play, we want to keep on rising up the ranks. You know, we're ahead of McNeil and Stony Point, and we need to keep on picking off teams. So eventually, as that playoff run goes, we want to be the number 1 small school seed. So in the end, 4 teams are going to make the playoffs, and based on enrollment, we go big school and small school, but it would be a huge advantage for us to win this game tonight, and that would leave Vandergrift at top, and then of course Round Rock has the advantage over us in a tie-breaking scenario. But this whole road, as we go down the stretch, it's going to be us controlling our own destiny. Of course, our young ball club is, you know, we're getting better each week. Practice this week has been good as well. We've got guys stepping up, guys communicating better, finishing blocks. We're tackling better each week, and so that improvement, as we see week by week, is definitely going to serve us well as we finish out all the way up to Thanksgiving week against Westwood, and then have a bye going into the playoffs, barring any schedule changes.
As we get ready for our national anthem here at Hutto Memorial Stadium, one of our traditions at Freedom Game is to have the Hutto Fire Department Honor Guard join our Hutto ROTC Color Guard for the displaying of the colors, and certainly the national anthem played by the Hutto Hippo Band. And, you know, I think the fire department plays such a big role in this community and so many things that they do, and we're always glad to have them right alongside us in this ball game. We'll pause and listen to the Hutto High School Band perform the national anthem.
Now if we would take a moment and in our silence remember those who serve us on a daily basis here locally and in uniform around the world, and especially those who are no longer with us. And now the Hutto High School Marching Band in the playing of our national anthem.
Well, Ryan, I think one of the things for the Hippos tonight is going to be the play of freshman Will Hammond, of course, stepping in for Grayson Doggett, who's unavailable this week again. And, you know, Will certainly had a fantastic debut last week against Stony Point, but and probably the kind of team you would want to throw a true freshman out there in his very first varsity football game against, but going to see a little different team this week against Vista Ridge.
Yeah, you know, I think the biggest thing that he's going to see is the speed increase of Vista Ridge and their defensive backs. Their defensive line is they're good, but Stony Point had a pretty big, decent defensive line, and our offensive line actually did a really good job. And Brad spoke of that of just how well they did, having so many new faces and guys in new places, and boy, just the poise that we saw out of Will Hammond last week was something that even his coaches didn't expect. You know, being his first varsity game and coming out and playing the way he did.
Yeah, I think certainly on offensive end, it's Will Hammond. You know, we did get J.J. Banks back last week, and that was certainly helpful for the Hippos in the backfield. Kind of mixes it up a little bit with Kyron Miller, gives you a little kind of a 1-2 punch. And then a guy that the Hippos coming back tonight that we haven't seen play yet this year is L.J. Martin at receiver, and he should make a difference as well.
Yeah, I mean, the coaches are really high on L.J. He's a guy that they've had their eye on all offseason and have really just been waiting for him to get cleared, and they finally got the go-ahead last night. And, boy, look for him to step in and make an impact early on. You know, these coaches think that he could end up being the best of all the receivers that they've got.
Well, the Hippos will receive to start the ball game, and most likely that means they probably lost the toss, and the Vista Ridge Rangers will kick off and probably get the ball to start the second half. And I want to give a shout-out before we get started, and hopefully they're already tuned in, but our Director of Health and Safety for Hutto ISD, Kendra Estes, she actually has a son, Elijah Estes, number 40, that plays for the Vista Ridge Rangers, and his family is listening up in Illinois. So we have listeners from Illinois tonight, the Estes and Patton families up in Illinois listening. And so we will try to call Elijah's name, hopefully not too
enough,
often.
But
yeah. We don't want him doing anything major against the Hippos, but no, we're glad that they could tune in. I said listening. Hopefully they're watching. I keep forgetting this year we're actually live streaming.
Yeah, no, we're big time now.
Yeah.
You move up to 6A, they'll let you live stream things.
Especially during a pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Number 83, Daniel Lara, set to kick off for the Rangers. Just about underway here in Hutto on a beautiful November night. Kick is deep, fielded at the 5-yard line, out to the 15, left across the field to the 20, turn it up to the 25, and brought down about the 27-yard lines, number 17, Damian Jones. And that's where the Hippos will set up. 1st and 10 to start the ball game.
Number 17, Jones on the return.
One of the few returns that we've gotten to see on the year, and you know, we keep waiting for Damian to break one. We saw so much potential, so much speed early on in the year, and then, you know, obviously he wasn't able to he wasn't able to go for a couple games, and now that he's back there returning, you're kind of surprised when these teams don't do that pooch kick.
Well, Will Hammond brings his guys out along with number 26, J.J. Banks in the backfield. He splits 3 receivers over on the right side. Snap back, fake the handoff, swing quick little pass across the 30, 32-yard line, and then gang tackled by a whole bunch of it. Still pushing forward as that Hippo line just continues to push Banks forward. Gary Choice, I think, got in there and helped with the blocking situation, which you always like to see from one of your receivers. I tell you, it looked like it was going to be at about a 4-yard gain, turned into about a 10-yard gain. First and 10 for the Hippos at the 37-yard line. Handoff goes to Banks. Sneaks forward close to the 40-yard line, pickup of 2 yards. Helmet comes off, and that is JJ's helmet. So he will have to come out of the ball game for a play. Kyron Miller comes in.
Well, and then that was actually Carson Forrest that caught that opening pass. And Carson's been someone that we've really seen open up a lot in the last few games, and they've kind of gone to him and found him as a good little reliable weapon out of that slot tight end position.
2nd down and 8 for the Hippos, just underway here. And Hutto, Kyron Miller in the backfield with Will Hammond. Put a man in motion. Gary Choice going from right to left, trying to hit him on a little jet sweep. He tries to turn it back inside, gets across the 40. They're going to mark him down at the 40-yard line, so pickup of only a yard on the play. Good job by the Vista Ridge defense to stuff that one.
Yeah, never really much of a chance there for Gary to get going. He did a good job to actually fight back and gain a yard there. He thought he was going to be wrapped up in the backfield for a loss.
So first big 3rd down situation facing Will Hammond. Again, first ball game ever as a varsity player for the freshman was last week against Stony Point. Threw a touchdown pass on his very second pass ever thrown. Drops straight back, gets some heavy pressure, and he's going to be brought down. Actually, he lets the ball fly before he's brought down. Risky, but it worked out for him to just throw it away. But
that's probably one that you're going to have him saying, you know what, let's just take the sack there, because you see so many times those quarterbacks trying to throw it as they're falling down. In fact, we saw it last night in the San Francisco 49er Packer game. And Nick Mullins falling down, throws the ball up in the air, and Packers end up catching it and returning it for a touchdown.
So it goes as an incomplete pass, and the Hippos will punt from their own 40-yard line. Evan Gutierrez takes a snap, low snap, gets the kick away end over end. Going to hit at the 32-yard line, takes a Hippo bounce, and then bounces straight up and killed by Jose Pena at the 30, and that's where Vista Ridge will take over 1st and 10. So not quite the beginning that Will Hammond had last week against Stony Point, but we weren't necessarily expecting that. A much tougher team, and both offensively and defensively. So we'll throw the Hippo defense out there, and they'll get an early test against the quarterback, number 12, Kyle Brown. He's kind of the man that does everything for them.
Well, he's the man that facilitates everything. They've got a lot of weapons on offense. They've got 13 different receivers who have caught a pass this year. 8 of them have caught a touchdown pass. So they've got no shortage of weapons on that offensive side.
Iman Allen in the backfield along with Alex Brendelmeyer. Throwing deep is Brown. Got a man on the sidelines, caught. And running away from the Hippos and all the way down inside the 20-yard line is number 7, Wyatt Gates. And that's a player that Coach Harvey said the Hippos needed to keep an eye on, and early on they hit him on that sideline.
Yeah, it looked like
a flag after the play.
Well, it's going to be taunting on Wyatt Gates after the play. He threw the ball up in the air out of celebration. But, you know, the Hippos we had a zone going, and Jose Pena was unpositioned, but once again, he's just he's smaller than everybody else, and some of those balls just are flying over his head, and he can't really do anything about it. And then the other thing that we've got to do a good job of is when they do have those long passes, we've got to wrap the guys up and minimize those big plays, and don't let them break free and score on those busted coverage plays.
Well, one of the things Kyle Brown did right there, and we've kind of heard the scouting report on him, is he doesn't really like to run the ball. He'll scramble a little bit, and he'll take it right up to the line of scrimmage and then let it fly, and that's exactly what he did right then. Official timeout after they marked the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty back against Vista Ridge, I think just trying to get the chain set.
Yeah, they were giving them 1st and 0.
That's not fair.
No.
So we'll be 1st and 10. They moved them back to the 33. Still a great gain for Vista Ridge after the big pass play. Bernalmeyer in the backfield. Faking the handoff to him. Brown swings a pass just a little over the head of number 35, Dayton Baumbarger.
Baumbarger.
They've
got some funny names.
They have some names that are going to be a challenge for us tonight.
Right there, we saw exactly what Vista Ridge's bread and butter is. It's that RPO, that play action, reading the linebackers, and getting those either swing passes or the slants going across the middle.
Baumbarger sets up in the backfield. That's going to be tough. Snap back to Brown. Has a lot of time, has plenty of time to look over the field. Now he gets a little bit of pressure. Going to be a holding. Pass thrown into the end zone and going up.
Offensive pass interference as well.
And ball falls incomplete. Yeah, it's tell you what, number 7,
Wyatt Gates.
He's
drawing some flags early on. He's getting the attention, huh?
We'll hope that that's against him.
No, that was a very clear push off.
Also had a hold back here in the offensive backfield against the Vista Ridge Rangers. So Hippos benefiting from some Vista Ridge penalties currently. But once again, you saw number 12, Kyle Brown, have plenty of time to throw the ball.
Yeah, and then that's not a great sign going forward for tonight. We brought 5 there, and they kind of stonewalled us, and we didn't get much penetration.
So Bryce, I don't know if you're able to hear us down there. Bryce is down on the sidelines, and normally have problems with Bryce's microphone. Tonight we're having problems with Bryce hearing us. So, Bryce, if you can hear us, give us a little. Nope. No. I don't think he can hear anything we're saying. So move that one all the way back to the 49-yard line. It's going to be second down and a lot, about 25 yards needed for Vista Ridge. And this is where if you're the Hippos, you can't give up the big play. Iman Allen in the backfield with number 12, Brown. Iman Allen's a playmaker, too.
He's their go-to weapon. He's the guy you've got to watch when he's in the ballgame.
If you're the Hippos, you can't get deep right here. A little blitz look by the Hippos. Bringing some pressure. Brown scrambles. He's got a little bit of running room across the 40, inside the 40, brought down at the 38-yard line by Landon Watson. Landon chased him down from behind. You don't normally see Landon making tackles that far down the field, but
no,
Brown got a lot of it back, but it's still going to be third down and about 13 yards needed.
Yeah, and you wonder, this is probably 2 or 4 down territory here, so they've probably got 2 plays to work with. Their kicker is Daniel Lara, and he has 2 field goals on the year. He's 2 for 2, but his long is 25. So we don't really know what his maximum distance might be.
Third down and 14 yards needed for the Rangers. Snap back to Brown. Again, has a lot of time. Now pressured and sacked at midfield. Landon Watson and Braylon Sugg back there to do the damage for the Hippos. And that was one of the keys coming into this ball game, is trying to get pressure on him and certainly
absolutely
bring him down.
And one of the things that you've got to do with a quarterback that likes to move around in the pocket so much is you can't necessarily run upfield so much. You've got to collapse that pocket, and they did a great job there.
Well, once again, the Hippos seems like almost weekly get a sideline warning against their bench.
Well, Brad made a joke to the referees about it before the game that they got penalized for that last week. So
yeah, they are.
They knew, they were ready. They were ready for it, and I guess he's just getting it out of the way with.
You had mentioned before that play that they were probably in 4-down territory, and the only way they weren't going to be is if you sack them, and that's exactly what happened. And now
they're still in 4-down territory. This is 4th down.
Good point.
They're still running a punt.
Going to run a fake punt, and Brody Bueno sniffs it out, but he can't make the tackle. Ranger running away, but he's not going to get there.
Hey,
he had
a
long way to go. You were right. You're exactly right. So
classic 4th and 30 fake punt.
An interesting play, because you would think if you need that much, you're probably at least going to try to throw the ball out of the fake punt situation.
Yeah, and if anything, not snap it to the up back. I mean, they snapped it to a fullback, and even if he does break free, it didn't look like he was going to have the speed to break away and gain the 30 yards that was needed. That's an interesting play call. But, boy, a fortunate one for the Hippos, and a good job to be aware and bring him down. Yeah,
I thought Brody was going to wrap him up for a loss. Anyway, Hippos will take over 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Nice turnaround of the field for them. Handoff goes to J.J. Banks, crosses the 40, and is wrestled down at about the 42-yard line, pickup of only 2 yards. Hippos look like they really want to try to find a place to run on the interior there, but they've struggled with that all year.
Well, and they've got to set up the running game to get Will Hammond in the game, let him be successful.
Second down and 7. Banks in the backfield with Hammond. Hippos in these somewhat camo jerseys. I said they remind me of the one time when the Cincinnati Bengals came out in some kind of tiger print.
Stripe.
But at least the numbers are big and a little easier to see. Will with a straight drop, heavy pressure, throws, nice pass, nice catch. Carson Forrest catches it at the 46-yard line. I tell you, Will stood in there
he did.
before the
hit. He got popped, and he got hit low. That's one you don't like to see when those quarterbacks hit low around the knee.
So 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Banks. Hippos trying to move quickly and, again, pick up about 2 yards inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Yeah, I think that's one of the things I really like about Will Hammond from last week, and then obviously right there is his willingness to stand in there and release the ball kind of last second.
Well, and obviously last week he did such a good job of stepping up in the pocket, moving around, and not being afraid to run. You wonder if they keep getting far enough upfield, he's going to start finding those lanes and be able to have some room to run. 2
receivers left, 2 right. Banks in the backfield with Hammond. Straight drop, swinging it to Banks. Oh, out of the backfield. Banks had a little bit of running room if could have caught it. Wasn't a bad throw. I think he just turned his head and looking upfield before he watched it into his hands.
Yeah, down there on pregame, Will throws a pretty hard ball. I mean, I know these guys are used to that with Grayson. Grayson throws probably just as hard or harder than Will, but it's a different release point, and it's going to take some getting used to, especially under the lights. They've only caught it in the in the daylight on Saturday.
3rd down and 8 for Hutto. 7:06 to go in the first quarter. No score. Second possession for the Hippos. Vista Ridge had a possession and turned it over on downs. 2 receivers right, 3 receivers left. Empty backfield for Hammond. Heavy pressure coming. Throwing deep. Left side. It's going to be intercepted at the 22-yard line and brought down pretty much no return at the 23.
Well, you know what, though? That's a play that you throw it deep there and you're okay with the interception. I mean, they got the ball on the 22-yard line.
Yeah, probably would have been about where a punt would have
gone. Right, we would have punted, and more likely than not, that ball either goes out around the 20-yard line or closer.
So Will with his first interception of the year.
Yeah.
And, of course, Vista Ridge, I think they, they probably anticipated that the freshman might be playing, and I think they are trying early on to bring a lot of pressure on him and look for the Hippos to make some adjustments and start hitting some quick little
some screen
slants
passes
and screen passes. Yep. Snap back to Brown. He looks right side, has a man on the sideline, pushed out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, Jacob Bowerman.
Pass complete, number 13, Jacob Bowerman.
Jacob Bowerman's one of their big go-to receivers. He and both Iman Allen and Quade Hegvet is his name. And
yes, Hegvet.
That's kind of the trio that carries this receiving core.
It's a handoff. First running play of the night, I think, Alex Berndelmeyer. And Berndelmeyer picks up about a yard. I say the first running play, actually, is the second. The fake punt was their first running play. So 3rd down and about 2 yards needed for the Hippos. For the Rangers. Hippos defense with a chance to get a big stop right here. Hippo crowd making some noise. Snap back to Brown, looking left, now looking over the middle. He's got a man, just a quick little turnaround there at the 35-yard line. Number 4, Quade Hegvet. Going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, and with so many weapons on the offensive side, that's going to be a play that's going to be hard to stop, especially on 3rd and short when we're pressed up so close, but we're afraid to get beat deep and just turn around and stop and right there for the first down. That's an efficient play.
Yeah, it's a good play. It's if you're the Hippos, though, you probably would rather see that than the deep throw down the sidelines that they've been pretty vulnerable to.
Yeah, if you can keep them in front of you and make them drive, that's going to be a key also.
Start increasing the opportunities for mistakes at that point. Swinging a little lateral pass out of the backfield to number 1, Iman Allen, and a great job by the Hippo defense to read that and wrap him up for about a yard loss.
Yeah, Theo Anderson coming from that safety position, he read that the entire way, was running with him, was able to actually beat him to the sidelines and push him back, and Brody Bueno there to clean it up. Actually ran back into one of his blockers. I think that was Wyatt Gates out there blocking that ultimately made the tackle.
He'd probably rather run into one of his blockers than run into Brody Bueno.
I would.
They actually give him a line of scrimmage on that, no gain, so 2nd down and 10 for the Rangers. Put a man in motion now. He's going to reverse and go back the other way. Trying to set up a screen pass on the right side. He's got a little bit of running room and some blockers. He breaks free and across midfield. Boy, the Hippos had a chance, but just couldn't get number 13, Jacob Bowerman.
Well, and that was a really well set up play. I mean, they had 3 offensive linemen all out there, all blocking, and Jacob Bowerman did an excellent job of being patient, waiting for them to get in front of him and just waiting for that lane to open up. And again, it's fortunate he's not still running because that was well set up screenplay.
1st and 10 for the Rangers. They're into Hippo territory at the 48-yard line. 4:10 to go in the first quarter. A little play action pass and a lot of room. Brown swings it to number 35.
There you go.
Dayton Baumbarger. Baumbarger's able to rumble for about 8 yards down to the 40-yard line. Going to be 2nd down and 2 yards needed. Yeah, they're just kind of methodical moving down the field.
They do a good job of keeping you guessing. I mean, there's no sort of rhyme or reason to what they're running. It seems like it's all random so far.
Bernalmeyer in the backfield with Brown. Instead, he finds number 4 across the 25 down to the 24. Quade Hegvet. Tell you, Brown is he operates really nicely back there in the backfield.
He does. He's efficient, and he's a coach's son. His dad's the offensive coordinator, and so obviously he's no stranger to this offense or the game of football, and probably a very smart, heady kid that just kind of understands how the game works.
They've got the Hippo defense kind of on their heels right now. 3 receivers left side, single receiver right. Brown, quick drop, pumps left, looks deep, now comes back left side. Boy, Hippos need to start tackling before they get these guys run away. Number 7, Wyatt Gates, should have been brought down for about a 2-yard gain, but slips away and picks up about 7 or 8.
Yeah, actually, he put a stiff arm on Braylon Sugg, and that's not something that we see very often. You know, it was a good job actually by the Hippos. They tried to set up that fake screen pass out there and slip a guy outside, and we did a good job covering the deep route, but then forgot to pay attention to the guy they faked it to.
Ball's at the 20 or at the 19-yard line. 2nd down, 4 yards needed for the Rangers. Brown with the straight drop, gets some pressure and is going to be sacked. Heavy pressure by the Hippos. It was Brody Bueno, Landon Watson, and number 35, Breland Davis, all got back there, and that's what the Hippos need to do.
Kind of a jailbreak there. It almost looked like they were setting up a screen, and I don't know if they were or not, but, boy, we got there so quickly that he didn't have a chance to get rid of it.
Right now the Hippos kind of have the bend and don't break defense working, which will be fine. You know, if you can keep bending and then come up with a play like that and put them now in a 3rd and long situation, 3rd down, 12 yards needed.
4 down territory?
Probably so. You wonder if they're going to come with heavy pressure. Being chased, Brown rolling to his left and runs out of bounds short of the 20-yard line. About the 23 is where they're going to mark it. It's going to be 4th down and 7 yards needed.
Boy,
so
decision time
Hippos are getting
early.
some good pressure on Brown.
It looks like they're going to go for it.
Well, I would think they probably would. I mean, they've had some success offensively, obviously. Brown seems really good back there at what he's doing, but I think the key, and you know, Coach Adam Harvey, defensive coordinator for the Hippos, said we want him to not have more than 3 or 4 seconds to release the ball.
Yeah.
That's kind of the key. So they are going to go for it. 4th down, 8 yards needed. Put a man in motion from left to right. Snap back to Brown. Pressure coming. Being chased. Just throws it up for grabs. Just knock it down. Just knock it down.
Go down.
Yep, go down in the end zone. Don't try to run that out. There you go. Take a knee.
Yeah,
good job.
smart
So
play.
intercepted by the Hippos in the end zone.
Awesome.
Was that Jalen Parkinson?
No, that was Theo Anderson.
Theo Anderson.
Yeah, no, that was they were trying to swing Iman Allen, number 1. He was lined up at the running back position. They were trying to swing him on a swing route, and we had it well covered. And again, got pressure on him quick and forced him just to throw one up. And like you said, probably should have dropped that. But then once he did catch it, that was a heady play to just go ahead and take a knee and get the ball back out to the 20-yard line.
So Hippos repay the interception with an interception, and they will start off 1st and 10 at their own 20. A defensive ball game here early on. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score. Will Hammond hands off to J.J. Banks. He moves forward up to the 25-yard line. Pick up a 5 yards on the play. That's J.J.'s biggest run of the year. Of course, J.J. Banks got injured in that very first game against College Station. And I tell you, I think a lot of people feared the worst, that it might be a season ender for him. And he was able to come back last week against Stony Point, and it's just really nice to have him back in the backfield.
Well, he's just such a different runner than Kyron Miller. And to be able to have both of them back there is huge.
2nd down and 5. Handoff goes to Banks. He's met in the backfield and going to be tackled for a loss. Ball comes out. I thought he was down, but officials don't say so. I think the Rangers might have come up with this one.
I believe you're right.
Well, you got one official that's, yep, they're going to say fumble. So Hippos give it right back to them after the interception, a fumble by J.J. Banks. Boy, it sure looked like he was down. Of course, we're way up here.
Well, and, that kind of goes back to how many times have they been able to actually practice that handoff. Obviously, with a freshman quarterback that hadn't been practicing with the varsity for too long, and a guy in J.J. Banks that's been hurt for a while and hadn't been practicing, and combine that with the initial pressure that got back there early, and that's just a recipe for disaster.
Bryce is right down there on it, but we're not able to communicate with Bryce right now to find out if he thought it was. But nonetheless, fumble, turnover. Vista Ridge has it 1st and 10 at the Hippo 21-yard line. Brown looks over the middle. He's got a man inside the 10, inside the 5, and brought down at the 3-yard line was number 4, Quade Hegvet. Boy, Vista Ridge looks like they're not going to waste any time in making the Hippos pay for that turnover.
And that was a good find there by Kyle Brown. He had Zane Bolding he was kind of roaming that linebacker position, reading his eyes, and Quade Hedbeck just slipped right by him, and big gain.
1st and goal for the Rangers at the 4-yard line. Brown fakes a handoff, swings a pass out of the backfield, and stretching it across for the Ranger touchdowns, number 35, Dayton Baumbarger. Well, it took them 2 plays to capitalize on that Hippo turnover, and if you're if you're the Hippos, you already know coming in this is a dangerous Vista Ridge offense, and you just can't give them field possession at your 20-yard line.
And that's exactly what we talked about pregame. It's the defense has done such a good job all year. It's more so been the offense that's been putting them in the bad positions and giving up the points, and yet again another example of that.
Snap back, and it's on the ground. Scramble drill. Well, he's got a man wide open, and he can't hang on to it. Whoa. They almost came away smelling like a rose on that one. The bad snap and the scramble drill had a man that he threw to. If he'd caught that, that would have been 2 points, but it goes incomplete, so it's only 6. 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's Vista Ridge 6, Hutto nothing. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football on SHN Sports.
A-Plus Federal Credit Union is a longtime supporter of Hutto ISD. Earn cash back and support Hippo Nation with the student-designed A-Plus FCU Hutto ISD Hippo debit card. When you use your Hippo debit card, you and Hutto ISD both earn up to 10 cents with every purchase. Hutto ISD has received over $71,000 in cash back from A-Plus FCU members since August 2016. Stop by the Hutto branch on Ed Schmidt Boulevard to get your card and start earning today. Membership required. Insured by NCUA.
So Vista Ridge Rangers capitalize on the Hippo turnover. 2 plays, and they punch it into the end zone for the score. First points of the ball game. Almost went the entire first quarter without any points.
I was just about to say something before that turnover. What a surprising start this was. If you would have told me before the game that it was going to be 0-0 before the first, or when the first quarter ended, I don't think many people would have believed me.
Are set to kick off. Should be returnable. Fielded by Damian. Out to the 20, cuts it back inside 25. Still fighting forward, just protect that ball. Goes down at the 30-yard line. Damian Jones with a nice return.
They'll be starting from their own 30-yard line. We hope you enjoyed today's game and help to support your school and community by practicing proper social distancing measures. Remember to keep at least 6 feet.
So Hippos will take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line, trailing 6-0 in the ball game. And really, offense hasn't done a whole lot yet. You'd want to see them be able to kind of put something together and sustain some kind of a drive offensively. Brody Bueno is going to come in and try his hand at quarterback, which was exactly what they did last week against Stony Point. Snap back, handoff goes to Kyron Miller, bounces it, does the
completely different look. Go
to the power
Will
package
and JJ to Brody and Kyron. You're adding about 100 pounds back in the backfield.
Yeah. Kyron picks up about 3, 2nd down, 7 yards needed. And, yeah, we saw pretty much when you see Brody come in, you're going to see a lot of running by Brody usually. Brody steps forward, changing the play down to 8 seconds on the play clock. They might let this one run out and decide to just move on to the second quarters. They're down to 2 seconds remaining, 1, and no snap. So they're going to let the quarter run out. Very, like you said, very surprising, low score in first quarter. We've played 1 here in Hutto. It's Vista Ridge 6, Hutto nothing. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football on SHN Sports.
ACDI, Al Clausen Disposal, supports the Hippo Nation. ACDI is a locally owned family company that specializes in solid waste services, including residential, recycling, commercial, and roll-off. Al Clausen Disposal has grown into a top 100 ranked corporation. Their mission is simple. They're committed to providing safe, reliable, and environmentally sound waste solutions at cost-effective rates while embracing new ideas to reduce the carbon footprint. Al Clausen Disposal, your local choice for all your collection and disposal needs. ACDI says go Hippos!
Set to start second quarter here at Hutto Memorial Stadium, where the Hippos trail at 6-0. And again, we're new offensive look for the Hippos, really starting last week with Will Hammond and Brody Bueno, with Grayson Doggett being unavailable last week and again this week. Will Hammond had the first couple of series for the Hippos. Brody now trying his hand, and it's 2nd down and 7 as we get underway at their own 33-yard line. Brody going to run a little option play, throws it over JJ's head. It's picked up by Vista Ridge and returned inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Wow, Brody kind of tried a little no-look pitch to JJ, and he just pitched it over his head. And, boy, second turnover in a row.
Boy, and it's just – that's something they have not run all year. And, you know, I know you got to try something new, but, boy, that's a risky play to run, especially when you're not an option team. That's kind of an awkward – it's an awkward pitch, and it's hard to keep the correct distance. JJ was a little bit too close to Brody. Brody probably pitched it a little too hard. I mean, that's just a – oh, and once again, great field position that the defense gets backed up in, and we'll see if we can.
1st and goal for the Rangers at the 4-yard line. That's 3 possessions in a row that the Hippos have turned the ball over, an interception and 2 fumbles. Vista Ridge made them play last time, and they quickly make them pay this time as Brown throws a touchdown pass on a little slant to number 13, Jacob Bowerman. Boy, 1 play, 1 touchdown, and, yeah, you're right. That option, yeah, you know, and I realize, you know, when you practice that, you think that you know exactly where that guy is, but Brody's got to look back and find him, and, you know, he just kind of flipped that blindly.
Yeah, and I mean, he put it on him. It was fast. It was a little bit too high, and like I said, I think JJ was probably a little bit too close.
Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it's good. 11:47 to go in the second quarter. It's now Vista Ridge 13, Hutto nothing. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football on SHN Sports.
Hutto Family Eye Care has partnered with Hutto ISD for almost 10 years. Hutto Family Eye Care has been the leader and preferred provider of quality vision care products and personalized service to patients in Hutto. Their doctors use only the most advanced, state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. Give your vision the level of care and attention it deserves. Hutto Family Eye Care on Exchange Boulevard, across the street from the post office.
So Vista Ridge, once again, makes the Hippos pay for the turnover, and Hippos, tell you, they've had their last 2 offensive plays, well, 2 out of their last, what, 4?
Yeah.
3 out of their last probably
5.
4 or 5 have been turnovers,
Right.
and Vista Ridge has made them pay for 2 of them. And they lead at 13-0, and they haven't had to go very far for either score either. It's one thing when you turn it over at midfield, and it's another when you turn it over inside your 20 or even inside your 5.
Yeah.
So Hippos have now all of a sudden, just like that, have kind of put themselves in a hole and put themselves in a situation where you got to find something offensively and get down and get some points. Kickoff fielded at the 5-yard line, out to the 20, 25, breaks free at the 30, across the 35, and up near the 40. It was number 17, Damian Jones, but a yellow thing on the flag.
This is going to go against Jordan McCourse. This one's coming back. And, there's part of the reason that you might want to think about kicking it off and having some teams return it is a lot of times these guys that are on the special teams units are not your illegal block below the waist. And that's one of the things that they're really trying to keep an eye on these last few years is those low blocks. And, you see so many guys that take those low hits and ends up devastating their knees or their ankles, whatever it is, and they're just trying to take that out of the game completely, which is hard because you can't hit guys high, you can't hit them low.
Yeah.
It's like you're really changing the strike zone.
So Hippos will start, instead of at near the 40, they're going to start at the 12 or 13. Will Hammond back in, swings a pass out of the backfield to Kyron Miller across the 15 up near the 17, 18-yard line. Yeah, that's not bad. Pick up 5 or 6, and I think if you're the Hippos, that's what you're going to have to do. You can't get it all back at once, and you've got to sustain a drive here and come away with some points.
Well, and we just haven't been able to get any of our athletes involved yet. I mean, we've had, 2 passes, and they've both gone to Carson Forrest for minimal gains. And, you got to start looking over towards Jay Lambert and Damian Jones and Gary Choice.
Changing the play call. Clock down inside 5 seconds. Snap back to Will. He's got time. Looking over the middle, and that one is almost intercepted. Boy, that was well played by number 23, Jonathan Clark of the Rangers, and almost jumped in front of that one and picked it off.
Boy, yes, he was running the route for Gary there. He was he came from that safety position, and now sideline warning against Vista Ridge.
This whole sideline warning thing has just become a common occurrence.
We've seen 4 in the last 2 games.
3rd down and 6 for the Hippos after that incomplete pass. Hammond has 3 receivers left side, single receiver right. Now he's rolling to his left. He's got a man. Gary Choice kind of sits down. I think he got just an – oh, they're going to say incomplete.
Wow.
I think Gary didn't come up with it.
They're talking about it. Their coach is saying incomplete.
Their coach is saying incomplete. You got an umpire that's right on top of the play. He said catch.
They're going to give it to him.
Yeah, you had the official on the far side who was being influenced by the coach.
They're saying they're saying first down.
First down and 10, just enough.
Yeah, we weren't set.
Yeah, Hippos go a little too fast that time. Well, they probably shouldn't have let them snap it there. They didn't even have the chain set.
Well, I'm with you. They had not even set the down marker. They got to tell them they're not ready for play.
Yeah. Put that one on the we don't blame officials a lot, but I think I got to hold them a little accountable for that one. First down and 15 now for the Hippos, going the wrong way. Hammond goes right. Now tries to set up a screen pass on the left side, and Gary just can't hang on to it. Falls out of his hands and incomplete. So going to be 2nd down and 15 yards needed.
Well, I think you're right. I think our receivers like playing in the daylight better. I think they can see the ball, or they need nighttime vision goggles. I don't know what it is, but
very strange.
It's
just a struggle
night
catching
and day,
the ball.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Really struggle catching it, especially here at home.
Yeah.
Well, they cycled through 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down, back to 2nd down over on that marker on the far side. So 2nd and 15. Banks in the backfield. Handoff goes to him, running left side, and just can't get any blocking and find a hole to run through. Gets up to the 21, but it's going to leave the Hippos with a 3rd down and about 13 yards needed.
No, it doesn't work very well when you've got 4 offensive linemen going to the right and 1 going to the left, and that's where your running back goes to the left. And it's just they've got us guessing on offense and defense right now and just can't really find a rhythm.
So 3rd down, about 13 yards needed. Whistle from the officials, not exactly sure. Didn't see anybody calling a timeout. I think they're talking about whether the down is right, but I think it's right. Should be 3rd.
I don't know if the play clock ever started.
Yeah, he says 3rd down, so question from somebody. Well, it's hard to get rhythm going when things like that right there happen, right?
Right. Well, at least we didn't have any rhythm going. They didn't mess anything up there.
Yeah, but it was going to start on that play.
Well, it can still start on this play.
Three receivers right side, single receiver left, one man in the backfield with Hammond. Straight drop, gets some pressure, swings it out of the backfield. Boy, Banks just couldn't reel it in, and it's almost like J.J. didn't see it till the last second and then hits him in the arm.
Well,
and he had a lot of running room, too.
Watching him pregame, he was having issues catching those swing passes coming out of the backfield. He dropped 3 or 4 pregame, and, boy, it just looked just like that. And a lot of times pregame, he wasn't getting his head around in time. Like you said, I don't know if he was expecting it so quick, and, boy, he did have a lot of room to run.
So Evan Gutierrez stands at his own 10-yard line to punt for the Hippos, and Hippos are bordering on putting themselves in really dangerous territory. They're down 13-0, and Vista Ridge is probably going to come away with some really good field position right here. Snap back to Gutierrez. Nice punt. Good hang time. Fielded, bobbled at the 35. Now retreating back to the 30. Iman Allen, and going to be wrestled down at about the 40-yard line in front of the Hippo bench. Theo Anderson chased him down and brought him down. So,
yeah, it was an excellent punt, great hang time, and a really good job of coverage there. And, against a guy that's such a good athlete as Iman Allen is, you've really got to do a good job of staying in front of him and just kind of corralling him to the sidelines, and that's exactly what the Hippos did there. Didn't give him a chance to catch the edge and run down the sidelines.
So Vista Ridge will set up 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. They've had some good field position a couple of times due to Hippo turnovers, this time because of a punt. They lead at 13-0 with 10:03 to go in the second quarter, and Hippo's just not been able to find any offense right now. Kyle Brown, the quarterback for the Rangers, takes a straight drop. Pass left side to Gates is complete. Going to be wrapped up short of the 50. Got it up. Going to mark him at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, just guessing. And
Brown, for the most part, is just back there kind of just picking the Hippos apart.
Yeah, I can't get.
A couple of times they've gotten pressure on him, but.
And going back to, he's just got so many different guys to throw to, and they all kind of do similar things and run similar routes and just find the holes in the zone.
This time he fakes the handoff and finds a man wide open down to the 40-yard lines, number 4, Quade Hegvet.
And we're going to have to start taking some chances, running some man coverage and bringing more pressure here, because that's just giving him way too much time, and there's just too much field for him to work with when we're back there in that zone defense. And, obviously we've got some mismatched corners out there against some of these receivers, height-wise or what have you, and we just got to live with that and hope we can get pressure in time.
Well, Coach Harvey said they wanted him to throw it in less than 3 or 4 seconds. He's throwing it at about 1. Oh, boy, got to wrap up. Swinging a pass to number 22 out of the backfield, Alex Berndelmeyer, and he had a Hippo coming in there that thought was going to be able to bring him down for no gain or maybe even a loss, and he was able to step away from that.
Yeah, that was Jose Pena. He did a good job getting off the block. Wyatt Gates was out there, had him one-on-one blocking, and he was able to shed that blocker, and actually he came up with a good play. It was if he doesn't make that tackle, there's nobody else over there. So.
Second down, 8 yards needed, 8:15 to go in the first half. Hippos trail at 13-0. Brown working with a empty backfield now. Straight drop, looking deep, throwing right. It is going to be, in and out of the hands. Thought the Hippos might catch that on the deflection, intended for number 13, Jacob Bowerman. You had 22, Anthony Martinez, the machine.
Yeah, the machine.
That was the coverage.
And that was machine-like coverage. That was excellent. He was running stride for stride with him. And
turned, looked at the ball,
absolutely.
tipped it away. And
I thought he tipped it up to Theo Anderson.
That's what I was going to say, yeah. He had a Hippo
I
trailing, but I think
he tipped it out of bounds.
Right.
But no, that was a well-run play, and there's the man coverage. And if we can find some success running that man and get the pressure on Kyle Brown that we need, that's big going forward, especially even just getting that confidence.
3rd down and 9 needed for the Rangers, and whistles. I think we've got a timeout called by Vista Ridge. With 8:03 to go in the first half, and I tell you, this is a critical third down situation for the Hippo defense right here. You can get a stop, but offensively, you've just really not been able to find anything. But you're hanging in there. You're not out of this game, and
no, not by any stretch.
If you can if your defense can give your offense a chance to, and your offensive coaches a chance to start finding some little things to beat this Vista Ridge defense. I mean, Vista Ridge is good, no doubt about it, and their defense is good. But you look at their some of their games. I mean, they're not shutting everybody out. They're giving up some points.
No, I mean, they've given up 35, 7 and 7, but that was to McNeil and Leander.
Right.
14, 24, and 21. So, like you said, they're not shutting anybody out, and they're going to give up some points. But I'm kind of goes back right here. We've been saying 4-down territory here at the 40-yard line, 3rd and 8. I'm not sure this is 4-down territory at this point. The way their defense is playing, I don't know if they would
probably
risk
punt and pin us deep.
Yeah. Well, especially knowing that we might give the ball away and they get better field position than they had.
Empty backfield for Kyle Brown. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right, but they might release somebody off of that line of scrimmage. Watch and see. Now he's got all kinds of protection. Throwing deep over the middle. It's caught at the 20, inside the 10, number 4, Quade Hegvet. Boy, Brown just waited for him to break open, and the Hippos had no pressure on him at all.
No. And it seems like every time that we bring 3 or 4 and sit back in there to that zone, we're having no success. It's the time that we're bringing pressure. And
he's a heady quarterback. I think he sees if pressure's coming and he releases it quickly. And if he doesn't have the pressure, then he's waiting for his guys to break open deep, just like he did then.
Oh, and that's the hard part, and then that's the guessing game of and the fun of being a defensive coordinator.
Or the misery.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line and deep in Hippo into the field now. And, boy, they finally run it for a change. Alex Berndlemeyer, and Berndlemeyer takes it down inside the 10. I guess every once in a while you can run it if you're having the kind of success throwing it.
Yeah, it kind of opens everything up. They always say the run opens up the pass. I guess tonight the pass is opening up the run.
Yeah, that was the old saying.
And they don't run a lot. They average 315 yards passing every game, and they only average about 100 yards rushing. So I think they sprinkle it in when they have to, but they like to throw it.
2nd down, 6 yards needed. Brown with some pressure. It's going to be brought down with a sack. Landon Watson, Braylon Sugg, usual suspects in the backfield to swallow up Brown. It's the 3rd time they've sacked him tonight. So there are times they're getting pressure on Brown, but unfortunately the times that they're not, he's finding wide open receivers.
Yeah, and that was a great job there by Dietrich Williams in the middle, number 70, to kind of clog things up, and he was not letting Kyle Brown rush up the middle, which allowed the 2 main suspects to close in on him and bring him down.
So another big 3rd down situation for the Hippo defense. 3rd and about 13 yards needed. Brown takes the snap. He's got some pressure coming from Landon again. He escapes it, keeps his head downfield, throws, and intended for number 13, Jacob Bowerman, in the front quarter of the end zone. Bowerman stretched out for it, couldn't haul it in, goes incomplete. And I think you'll see the Vista Ridge Rangers try a field goal. So good job by the Hippo
coverage
defense.
There, good pressure, flushed him out of the pocket, and kind of fortunate that he had a guy in the corner of the end zone. But when you're flushing the guys out of the pocket like that, and you've got to, if you can force guys to throw into that tight window, so.
Well, he did a good job escaping the pressure of Landon Watson, too. Stepped up, and Landon kind of could only get an arm on him.
Well, and interesting here, they do not have number 83, Daniel Lara, in to kick this long field goal. That is
number 16, Rodrigo Sainz. Snap back, hold down, kick is up. It almost was blocked, and he pulls it left. It's no good.
Roughed him.
But there is a flag.
I believe we
roughed or
no, they're going to say we tipped it, so no. So we're good.
Waiting to make sure that's verified. But, yeah, I think the Hippos had so much pressure, it sure looked like if it wasn't going to be blocked, it was going to be deflected, and I think that was the case.
Boy, that's fortunate that it did get deflected, though.
I don't know. Nope. They're saying it wasn't deflected. Wow. They didn't get the roughing, but they only gave him the but they did give the running into the kicker.
Well, that's it's fortunate, but it's also unfortunate because they get to re-kick now. And that's going to bring their offense back on the field.
Coach LaPlante's pointing to one of the officials saying that he signaled that it was a deflected kick.
Well, and he was, and it was that it's the umpire in the back, and he's usually the guy that makes that call, and you wonder how he got overruled there.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you say it was deflected, then you saw it deflected, right? So it's going to be 4th down and 9, and like you said, they're going to bring their offense on, and instead of kicking it or attempting to kick it again, now it's going to be a 4th and 9 situation. They've got it at the 12. They need the 3. And now we're going to have a stoppage again. Hippos call a timeout. You wonder if that one's to talk about this play or if it's to chew on the official a little bit.
Looks like Brad's sticking with his guys, so I think he's over it. But yeah, no, what a big call there, and a call that I'm still curious about. I don't know how he gets overruled when he says it's deflected, but here we are. Yeah, and again, fortunate that there was only running into and not roughing. They didn't get the first down, but and it's 4th and 9. The quarterback's got less room to work with.
Well, the Hippos will obviously they have cameras set up in the end zone where they film everything. So when they look at the film, they'll be able to tell whether that was a deflection or not.
Yeah, well,
but
that's not going to matter.
At this point, now what you got to do is you just got to make a stop. And, the missed field goal would have resulted in 0 points. Now you can hold them on this 4th and 9 and still have it result in 0 points. But you got to make the play, and you figure Vista Ridge probably has a couple of wrinkles that they might throw right here, something we haven't seen yet.
You
figure the Hippos are going to bring
Bowerman's
pressure.
Name all night, and we haven't really called Emon Allen number 1. He's lined up down on this left side one-on-one coverage, and you got to think they might look to his direction.
Well, you wonder if the Hippos will try to bring some pressure because they've had some success with that. Snap back to Brown. Takes a step forward, now throws that little jump pass, and it's complete in the end zone. Wow. There's that little – you see that play run, Kansas State, some of those teams that run that
Tim Tebow, right?
Quarterback runs that little like he's going to run a little keeper, and then he steps back and finds his receiver open in the middle, just put it right on his hands for the touchdown.
That's just so deflating, too.
Absolutely.
You get him stopped, and then a running into the kicker, and, that might have contributed to the miss, the pressure that we had, but, boy.
Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. 5:50 to go in the first half. It's now Vista Ridge 20, Hutto nothing. Listen to Hutto Hippo football on SHN Sports.
YMCA, proud to partner with Hutto ISD. The Hutto Family YMCA is a center for fitness, family, and community. They provide Hutto residents with a state-of-the-art facility for programs and events that focus on youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. The YMCA works with Hutto ISD to provide an after-school program and other events such as Friday Night Live for middle school students. Check out the Hutto Y or call 512-846-2360. The Hutto Family YMCA. Strength from within.
Well, Hippos find themselves in a pretty big hole with 5:50 to go in the first half, trailing 20-0. And Ryan, during the break, we were saying this is really kind of reminds us of Round Rock, where it was just a mistake after mistake by the Hippos that led to the Round Rock scores, and that seems to be the case tonight. I mean, you've got two of the Vista Ridge scores have come off of fumble recoveries and short yardage.
In the red zone.
Yeah, in the red zone, short yardage drives. And then this one comes after the Hippos seemingly held on a attempted field goal, but ran into the kicker.
Yeah, realistically, we've stopped them every time that they've had to drive. Just killing ourselves.
Yeah, and then also like the Round Rock game, just not able to find anything offensively. There's a bobble on the kick. It's L.J. Martin, his first game back with the Hippos. So
and the woes continue.
So the Hippos are not going to start in great field position. It's been bad field position pretty much all night for the Hippos, too. This time we'll be at the 15-yard line, again the 16.
And with almost 6 minutes left in the second quarter, you hate to say this at this point, but this really feels like it's a must-score drive.
Yeah. Well, it's a must at least sustain
and get some
and
first downs, get some sort of confidence.
Keep the ball out of Vista Ridge's hands because you sure don't want them to score again. Got a two-back set in the backfield, Kyron Miller and J.J. Banks. Swinging it to Banks out of the backfield. Pushed out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Only picked up about 2-3 yards on the play.
Yeah, it didn't get a lot of help there on the outside. We had one receiver, that was Damian Jones, down there trying to block against two Vista Ridge defensive backs, and That's you wonder if maybe they're setting something up there. Maybe Damian might fake like he's blocking and try to slip out at some point later tonight.
Well, again, you see them both set up beside Will Hammond in the backfield. New look. Handoff goes to Banks. Now a little reverse to Gary Choice going left side, but, well, there's just nobody to create space for him to run. Good job by Vista Ridge. Takes it up to the 23-yard line and picked up a few yards, but, you know, play like that's meant to be explosive and big.
Well, and I don't know if we didn't spend enough time going right to get the defense didn't have enough time to go right, you know, before they had to switch back and go left. And I think some of their guys were still on the correct side to corral them for, 5 yards.
3rd down and 4. Pressure look by Vista Ridge. Now the Hippos checking off. Will Hammond looking over to the sidelines, getting a new play call. Play clock's down to 5 seconds. You better call a timeout. Somebody needs to be looking and calling a timeout, guys. And finally, with 1 second left, get a coach takes that timeout. So it's probably a big timeout too, because you're at 3rd and 3, which is a very manageable situation. But right now, if you move to back 5 yards to 3rd and 8, the way this Hippo offense has looked so far tonight, you would have a hard time picking up that 8.
We saw that last week. You know, Brad said he missed it and he didn't get the timeout call. I don't remember exactly what the situation was, but it was similar to this. You know, where it was a big play and he didn't get it called in time. He was distracted by something else, and you know, you wonder if he was paying more attention here, or if another coach was in his ear. But it's like you said, that could prove to be a crucial timeout call.
Yeah, if you can get a first down here,
if nothing
keep
else,
that drive going.
Well, yeah, if nothing else, keep that clock moving. And
well, and we've seen a couple of interesting play calls here early in this drive, and you wonder what they're going to come out with here on this 3rd down and 3 situation.
It's got to be something quick. And you got to think they're going to look towards, well, I was going to say Carson Forrest. I don't see him in the ball game. Gary Choice has seemed to be the go-to guy on 3rd down when it's not Carson Forrest.
Kyron Miller. It's Brody Bueno actually going to keep it. Breaks a tackle, has that first down, kicks it outside to the 30, 35, 40, and run out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Well, I think the Hippos called that timeout, and instead of bringing Will Hammond out, they brought Brody in. And, you know, that was that look that you pretty much know is going to be a run. Brody keeps it, the first big play of the night for the Hippos. Brody's going to stay in. Hand off this time to Kyron Miller. Goes middle and then starts back right. And, well, Kyron, he just likes to try to get it outside. And when he does, when he can get it outside, he can have some success. But against this Vista Ridge defense, he's having a difficult time. So 2nd down and 10, ball at the 45-yard line. 4:15 to go in the first half. Hippos trailing 20-0.
Going back to that 3rd down play, if we would have known Brody was in, we wouldn't have.
Of course,
we wouldn't have said it was going anywhere else
Absolutely.
but to Brody. He doesn't give the ball up.
Gary Choice goes in motion from right to left. Now Brody's going to keep it, and he's going to be brought down for a loss back at the 39-yard line. It almost looked like they were trying to set up that option again, but looked like somebody went the wrong direction.
3rd down.
So drop them back to the 40, and now instead of a 3rd and manageable, now you're 3rd and 15. Going to leave Brody in. 2 receivers right side, 2 left, and obviously a throwing situation for the Hippos. Some pressure look by Vista Ridge. And Vista Ridge has had some success bringing the pressure on these 3rd and long, so you figure they're probably going to bring it again.
Oh, they've had success not bringing pressure,
No, they've had success. They've had success.
They've had success.
Here comes the pressure. Brody, heavy pressure from both sides, and he's going to go down for a big loss back inside the 30-yard line. Vista Ridge calls a timeout with 2:56 to go. Certainly going to leave themselves plenty of time to add to their 20-point lead.
Plenty of time, and should get good field position after we had the ball 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now we're going to be punting. Evan Gutierrez will probably be standing on his own 20-yard line, and, you know, they'll probably get Vista Ridge will end up getting the ball around midfield with plenty of time to work with.
Yeah, that was promising after they had that third down run up to the 45, like you said, but, boy, just backwards from there. Lost, what, 10, about 12 yards. Go from 1st and 10 at the 45 to 4th and 22 at your 33-yard line.
Yeah, and if you're the defense, you know, you're saying, look, guys, we have got to stop. I mean, it's a must stop here. Obviously, the Rangers are getting the ball to start in the second half. If they go down here, score now, make this game 27-0, and then get the ball in the second half, you're looking at
It's going to be tough.
Big trouble for the Hippos.
Big mountain to climb for sure.
But as it stands now, 3 scores. That's
manageable.
That's manageable. But
gonna have to have a
we
little help. Gonna have
change
to have a
some things.
turnover or something here and find some ways to stop
I would
Kyle
kick this ball
Brown.
out of bounds.
Gutierrez, little knuckleball, flutter ball. It's bobbled at the 35-yard line. Second bobble in a row. Hippos were on that one. Number 4, Quade Hegbet.
That was
return it.
Iman Allen.
Iman Allen.
We've got a flag down.
At midfield's an interesting place. Maybe a block in the back.
They might have had too many men. I think Vista Ridge might have had 12 guys out there.
We would take that.
Well, we'd probably just tack on 5 more.
As it is, they would have it 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Turn the kick. Personal foul. Number 55.
Oh, my goodness.
15 yards being the kick. First down.
Personal fouls against the Hippos.
And that's on
Gabe
Gabe
Lozano. Yeah. It is just mistake after mistake for the Hippos here in this first half. And so instead of Vista Ridge having to work a little bit from their own 33-yard line, they're going to get it.
I told you
they'd
they'd have it at
ultimately put
midfield.
it down. It's going to be pretty close, isn't it? 34,
It's gonna
probably
be the
about
49.
the 49-yard line. You know,
They
that's
didn't elaborate. They just said
all
a
they
personal
said was
foul.
personal foul.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, and that's probably something that's a frustration penalty.
Yeah, and somebody like Gabe Lozano doesn't need to be committing
No,
frustration penalties.
No,
He's
absolutely not. He's
smart
somebody that
enough and been
everybody's
around long enough to.
well, and somebody
do
that
that.
everybody else is looking to on the team to kind of get their cues from.
Snap back to Brown. Boy, he's able to just squirm away. Should have been a hold on Vista Ridge. Throws it up for grabs on near their sideline, and
Wow.
they're going to say a catch.
Yep.
Catches it at the 39-yard line. I'll be darned.
Yeah, he had Jacob Bowerman just waiting there, and like you said, Kyle Brown just dances around back there and just keeps checking, keeps looking, and
Landon Watson's frustrated because it was pretty blatant hold that was going on that far side against him.
yeah, I mean, just it's kind of very unusual to see such a lack of pressure from the Hippos, though.
Well, they've gotten pressure a few times, and when they've done it, they've been able to sack Brown. But we heard how elusive he is too when he does get pressure, and he's proven that tonight. High snap, handoff. Moving forwards, number 5, Grayson Deal, across the 35, down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line.
Number 5, Grayson Deal, the ball carrier.
And again, with 2.5 minutes left, that's an eternity. They
Oh,
can
yeah.
run pretty much anything they'd like to at this point.
Deal in the backfield with Brown, 2 receivers right side, 2 left. Snap back, looking right, throwing right's got a man, tipped, and out of bounds. Threw that one just a little high, intended for number 4, Quade Hegbet, and Hegbet tipped it up in the air. And
like you said, one of those tips has got to start. I mean, it's got to fall
Hippos
our way. We've got to get a break.
Yeah, I mean, Hippos have obviously been kind of their own worst enemy tonight, but they're also just not getting any kind of luck at all going their way. So 3rd down and 5. Ball at the 34-yard line. Need the 29, 2:07 to go in the first half. Vista Ridge leads it 20-0, and Hippos really got to get a stop on Mr. Brown. Pressure look from the Hippo defense. They're trying to come after him, swing a pass right side. He's wide open on that sideline. Number 13, Jacob Bowerman.
Well, he's got to have 10 catches in this first half.
Yeah.
I mean, we have called his name seemingly every play. You know, it's
He seems to be Brown's go-to man
yeah.
in tough situations. So 1st and 10 at the 24, 2 minutes, 2:01 exactly to go in the first half. Like you said, plenty of time for Vista Ridge right here. Stacked 3 receivers on the left side, 1 man in the backfield. Brown with a drop. Pressure coming from the left side, steps up. He's going to run away from that and slides down at the 21. Yeah, he does not like to run.
No, he was about 6 yards still from Zane Boulding.
Yeah.
He was just going to park it there.
Brody Bueno would have been lowering his shoulder looking to run over somebody right there. But
yeah, and it slipped out of the grasp of Braylon Sugg,
Yeah.
and that's, again, something we're not used to saying.
no, that was the report on Brown, and it is true. He is able to escape pressure, but doesn't like to run it. With a straight drop, pressure coming, throwing over the middle. That one should be picked, and it is. Intercepted by the Hippos, return to the 10. A little bit of room to the 15, cutting back outside to the 20. Gets a block at the 25, and then run out of bounds at the 33-yard line was Theo Anderson. So that's a huge stop by the Hippos. They needed a stop, and you saw Kyle Brown force that one, had some pressure, and threw that one over the middle. I think he has so much confidence throwing the ball both in his arm and in his receivers that maybe throw some dangerous balls, and Theo Anderson made him pay for that one.
Yeah, second pick of the night there for Theo, and the second one in the end zone. And when he first catches that one, you're thinking, hey, let's go ahead and take a knee and get this ball at the 20, and actually ends up getting a nice little return all the way up to the 36-yard line. And here we go, with minute 17, one time out. Let's see if we can get to field goal range.
Yeah, Hippos 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Will Hammond back in at quarterback now. Got the quarterback rotation going on, trying to swing a pass, and boy, just
roughing the passer.
Jones can't go anywhere.
We're gonna get 15 yards out of this though.
Number 17, Damian Jones, flag on the play.
Yeah, heavy pressure was coming from that backside. Number 99, Jamar Fort.
That might be our biggest play of the night.
Brody's run on 3rd down was probably the biggest one.
I don't know if that was 15 yards, though.
Nonetheless, moves that one into Vista Ridge territory, 49-yard line, 1:12 to go. Play only took 5 seconds.
I think we fake a screen out here to Damian Jones and try to slip Jay Lambert going deep.
Haven't called Jay's name all night until you just did. Pressure on Will Hammond. He's going to run a little bit at the 45. Got to go down and take care of the ball. Brought down.
We're going to get a hit to the head again. I think we're going to get 15 more yards out of this. Looked like number 44, Jake Robertson, came in late and kind of cleaned it up.
Yeah, that flag was thrown by the official over in front of the.
Unless it's a block in the back.
That's what I'm wondering, where that official threw that flag from. Almost like he was looking at a block, but let's see. Hippos are lined up ready to run. Play ended at the 44-yard line. It was about a 5-yard scramble gain by Will Hammond. Officials are talking about it. There's been a lot of conversations and community effort by these officials tonight.
We are going to get
Jay Lambert seems to.
Yeah.
Targeting.
Yeah.
On.
That was number 44's first non-targeting.
I thought targeting was an automatic ejection.
Interesting.
Maybe that's a new.
That might be a new
high
UIL
school
rule. Well, and that makes sense. That's a
I agree.
That's a good
I think
rule to have.
I agree that targeting
especially
is
in high school with no review.
Yeah.
I like that rule.
Well, another 15-yarder, and that'll move the ball inside the 30 to the 28-yard line with 1:04 left. Hippos, you don't have to hurry. You've got plenty of time. Snap back to Hammond. He's got time swinging it out of the backfield to Banks, but there's no room on those plays coming out of the backfield.
Well, and with so many guys creeping up on the line of scrimmage, you've got to think there's some space out past those linebackers and in the secondary.
That's what I keep wondering, whether they're going to find somebody short over the middle.
I mean, maybe you just don't have time to get it there, but you got to start calling some plays that get the guys open there.
2nd and 10. Heavy pressure on Will, trying to set up a screen pass, and J.J. Banks is just blown up right as he catches that ball.
Yeah, and that was Jake Robertson, number 44, same guy that got called for a non-flagrant targeting 2 plays ago. And boy,
he just buried JJ right there.
He did. Vista Ridge seems to think that they want the football. I don't know if they're calling for a fumble or an interception, but
I don't think that's.
It's going to be third down for the Hippos.
Hippos call a timeout with 43 seconds left. So, yeah, they'd gotten it down to the 28-yard line on that penalty, and 2 plays in a row have gone backwards. And tell you, Hippos are just – they keep going to that play, that little swing pass out of the backfield, and it is not working.
No.
There's way too much pursuit by this Vista Ridge Rangers defense, and you got to start looking over the middle and not wide, I think. I mean, we're not the offensive coordinator or play
it sure
callers.
Seemed like we had a lot of success last week, and seemed like Will did such a good job of kind of reading the defense. And I know that things are faster, and he's got way more pressure in his face and what have you. But
yeah, but like you said, too, they're bringing so much pressure. There's some spots open there in the middle.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't have enough. Will does not have enough experience necessarily to be able to find where that pressure's coming from, and that quick critical thinking of a guy who has been playing for so long that knows where the open man's going to be, and that's why the Rangers are having so much success bringing that pressure. Everything's so fast for a guy that's making his second varsity start. You can't expect that he's going to be able to check off of those quickly and find the guy.
So third down and 14 after the timeout. Hippos, they need the 18-yard line to get a first down, and you wonder if they come up a little short of that. Yeah, if they would maybe try to get some points with a field goal. Heavy pressure coming again from the side. They do a throw over the middle that time. Boy, and just couldn't quite get it to Banks. He had him. There was that little kind of slant over the middle, and I think if he had put it up in JJ where JJ could catch it, he had some running room. But just pressure in his face all night long.
Boy, you'd think JJ was a receiver after tonight. I mean, I don't know if we've thrown a pass to a receiver besides 2 passes to Carson Forrest.
No, you're right. Probably going to be pressure again. Fourth down and 14 for the Hippos with 39 seconds left. And, boy, this was looking promising as a chance to get some points before halftime, and now it's looking a little dire. Heavy pressure again, and Will escapes that one and keeps his head upfield. Now he throws it, and it is caught.
Jay Lambert.
Wow, great job by Will Hammond to just hang in there. Wow, he should have been sacked, got away from it, rolled to his left, kept his head looking downfield, and released it at the last second, and Jay Lambert brings it in with 29 seconds left. Now Will looking over the middle, tipped.
Oh, that was dangerous.
Incomplete.
He had 47. Jay White was running from that linebacker position, read it the whole way, and I think if he waits another half second, he's got Jay coming behind him.
I was gonna say, well, if he had put a little more air on the ball, I think he had Jay.
Yeah, he did have to get rid of that quick, though. He had a guy coming right on his backside.
2nd and 10. Snap the ball because they have Mr. Ridge calls a timeout. You almost were able to catch them with too many men on the field. 25 seconds left, 2nd down and 10. Hippos have it at the 16-yard line. But, kind of go back to that 4th down play, and a great job not only by Will Hammond to escape the pressure and roll to his left, but in doing so, keeping those eyes downfield, looking for a receiver, and then good job by Jay Lambert to kind of keep working across the field.
That's all practice, and that's scramble drill. You're ready for that quarterback, and you know that once he starts running outside that pocket, you need to get to where he is and find an open spot. And also Will did a great job of he was running downhill and put a strike right on Jay where only he could catch it, and Jay caught it, which is not a given, with the things we've seen out of this receiving core this year. And that could be a huge momentum, confidence play, and it feels like we've kind of said that a lot this year when our offense has been stalling. There's been the 1 or 2 plays that you think maybe that's going to kind of catch fire, and who knows? Maybe it actually is this time. We'll see.
Well, the Hippos,
but you do have to be smart.
I was going to say, one thing you got to remember now with 25 seconds left, the Hippos have used their last timeout, and you at least want to come away with 3 points if you can't get a touchdown. Hammond rolls to his right, looking in that right corner of the end zone, and just overthrows number 17, Damian Jones.
And that's an okay play. He put it where only Damian could catch it or nobody was going to catch it, and I'm sure that came from the coaches.
Right here, too, you've got so now you've got 3rd down and 10, 20 seconds left, and you've got to have your kicker on here ready to run onto that field, because if you complete a pass or get a play that's for less than the first down, you're going to have to run that kicker out and get that field goal off quickly.
Yeah, and Evan doesn't seem to be lined up ready to go.
No, there needs to be somebody telling him to be ready to run onto the field. Will going to scramble, looking. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He dives, and he is in for the Hippo touchdown. Will Hammond with the scramble. Had a man at the last second trying to make a tackle, and he lowered his shoulder to run over him. A flag flies afterwards. Probably going to have an unsportsmanlike against the Hippos, but the touchdown should stand. Wow.
Boy, what a great run. Just a heady play there by Will Hammond, and tough, too. He lowered his shoulder there at the end and took a big hit. And
he was not afraid of the contact at the goal line. Penalty's going to be against the Hippos. They're asking the Vista Ridge coach whether they want to enforce it on the extra point or on the kickoff. I'm sure they're going to move them back and make them kick this extra point. But what a big score.
On the offense. 15 yards,
well, they didn't tell us who.
No, and it looked like
it was. I think it was just
surrounding him.
I think it was just a celebration.
Exactly.
And, you know, let the guys have fun and enjoy a big touchdown.
No kidding. I mean, a huge.
So it's going to be a 35-yard extra point by Evan Gutierrez. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is.
That's no problem.
Good for Evan Gutierrez. That's about where he would have had to kick the field goal from. So what a huge score for the Hippos with 12 seconds to go in the first half. And tell you what, credit Will Hammond on that one, as he had the pressure, he escaped. He saw a little bit of running room in front of him, and he turned the jets on,
he did.
Showed some speed.
He did. He
and
was moving.
I tell you, once he hit the 5-yard line, he kicked it into overdrive. And like you said, he had that one man at the goal line, and he was determined he was going to run over him, and he did. There was quite a collision there. But
well, and the whole time I'm looking, it's 3rd down and 8, 3rd down and 10, and I'm saying, okay, he better at least get this first down so the clock can stop, because if he gets tackled short of that first down, I don't think we have time to run out and kick the field goal. And then I'm thinking, get down, and boy, next thing you know, he's barreling into the end zone, and boy, what a humongous score right before halftime.
Absolutely. Well, it gives you something to really go into halftime feeling confident about.
Well, yeah, you almost feel like momentum is now on our side, right? Even down 20-7, it's
certainly could be. And, now we kind of saw that in that Round Rock game too, right, is that we felt like we could change the momentum, and then they came out after halftime, and their first play was a 95-yard touchdown run. So, you have to – take this momentum you have right now, and you still have 12 seconds left, so you got to make sure you don't give up something right here before half. But take this momentum, take some positive in there, and let's talk about getting a stop right off the bat on the first series after halftime, and, building on the confidence that you just showed in your offense on that possession. Instead of the pooch kick, it's going to be the ground ball variety. Brought across the 40 to the 41-yard line is number 4, Quade Hegbet. 7 seconds left. You wonder if Vista Ridge will try to throw something deep, or if they'll be content to run it out and go into halftime.
Well, if I think I'd probably just go ahead and run this one out. And
I would, but you got an all-state quarterback back there too, and
you do. But we have also been able to get some. Every once in a while, some pressure, and you risk a strip sack or something like that, or getting a guy hurt, or whatever it is, and
scoop and score.
Well, it looks like they're going to maybe give this a go. They've got receivers lined up out there, and they've got 2 guys for some extra protection in the backfield. So
yeah, just don't give him all day to throw it. He does hand off.
Yeah.
So they're going to be conservative, take it to the 45-yard line, and that's going to be the last play before halftime. So a half that really was looking dire for the Hippos, and they get a spark right before halftime with the Will Hammond scramble run for the touchdown, and the Hippos are able to cut that Vista Ridge lead to 20-7, and that's where we will go into the locker room. And, again, a lot of good things that you could talk about going into the locker room. You got some things you're going to have to clean up, and some mistakes you're going to have to address. But, you go back, just like that Round Rock game we talked about, that game was a 31-7 game, but you take away 4 plays in that game, 2 long runs, a snap over the punter's head, recovered for a touchdown in the end zone, and a pick 6. Take away 4 plays, and that's a 7-3 game.
Yeah, take
in
away
this one. Yeah, I mean, this one you're 20-7, but you're looking at, one of their touchdowns came after you fumbled at your own 4-yard line. They took them one play to score on that one, and the other one was you fumbled at your 20-yard line.
And the third one, they missed a field goal, and we got called for roughing the kicker,
exactly.
running the kicker. So I mean,
exactly. Absolutely. So certainly not a game that is as out of the realm of possibility. The Hippos coming back and winning. Well, we're at halftime. The Hippo Band will be on the field performing, and I know they're going to finish it up with a little salute to our veterans and first responders with their Freedom Game show. We'll take a break. We'll come back, listen to the Hippo Band, and then we're going to have a visit with our superintendent, Dr. Selena Estrada-Thomas, after the band performs. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football. It's 27 at halftime. You're listening on SHN Sports.
A-Plus Federal Credit Union is a longtime supporter of Hutto ISD. Earn cash back and support Hippo Nation with the student-designed A-Plus FCU Hutto ISD Hippo debit card. When you use your Hippo debit card, you and Hutto ISD both earn up to 10 cents with every purchase. Hutto ISD has received over $71,000 in cash back from A-Plus FCU members since August 2016. Stop by the Hutto branch on Ed Schmidt Boulevard to get your card and start earning today. Membership required. Insured by NCUA.
ACDI, Al Clausen Disposal, supports the Hippo Nation. ACDI is a locally owned family company that specializes in solid waste services, including residential, recycling, commercial, and roll-off. Al Clausen Disposal has grown into a top 100 ranked corporation. Their mission is simple. They're committed to providing safe, reliable, and environmentally sound waste solutions at cost-effective rates while embracing new ideas to reduce the carbon footprint. Al Clausen Disposal, your local choice for all your collection and disposal needs. ACDI says go Hippos!
Hutto Family Eye Care has partnered with Hutto ISD for almost 10 years. Hutto Family Eye Care has been the leader and preferred provider of quality vision care products and personalized service to patients in Hutto. Their doctors use only the most advanced, state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. Give your vision the level of care and attention it deserves. Hutto Family Eye Care on Exchange Boulevard, across the street from the post office.
Gage thinks when he turns this field mic off that we have up here, that's when it first comes back in. So he thinks there's some kind of interference going on there. Yeah, it's interesting. But when it's off, you can't hear us either. All right, we'll try it with. Okay.
Tell him to change the channel to 6.
Yeah, we might change the channel too.
Tell him I just changed it.
He just changed it to 6, but yeah, you come up here and change it to 6. Okay, thanks. Do you have this mic on now?
We'll have time to run the question. We'll have time to run the question.
The High Steppers are under the direction of Brooke Solomon. The High Stepper Booster Club is having a flamingo flocking fundraiser, and we would love your support. For $30, you can flock a friend or family member of your choice. For more information, check out the High Stepper Booster Club Facebook page. And now a performance from the Hutto High School Marching Band. But first, some shout-outs. To Lacey Cooper, Love you, baby girl. Love, Mom. To Zoe and Ava Weir, I'm proud of you both. Have fun tonight. Love, Mom. To Amari Rodriguez, great job, Pa. Keep drumming. To Matthew and Michael Estrada, you're finally marching together. We're proud of y'all. Love, Mom and Dad. To Annalise Hayes, you're the best little sister ever. From Clay. And to all our band kids, stand proud and play loud from your band mom. We now bring you hits from Green Day, Coldplay, and J-Lo, under the field direction of drum majors Macy Watson, Scott Gist, Nico Ornelas, and Kenny Schneider, and featured twirler Maggie Kradimski. Please enjoy the Celebration Remix. veterans as part of the Freedom Game tradition. We bring you the musical medley entitled To Keep Us Free, a special recognition to each of the branches of the armed forces. If you are a veteran or family member of a veteran on either side of the field, when you hear your march, please stand to be recognized as we say, thank you for your service. The United States Coast Guard. The United States Army. The United States Air Force. The United States Marine Corps. And the United States Navy. On your feet, football fans, it's time for your Hutto High School fight song.
We're at halftime of this big District 25 6A matchup between the Hutto Hippos and Vista Ridge Rangers. Hippos trailing 20-7 at half, but had a little spark right before halftime. We're hoping they'll take that momentum into the locker room and come out and change things in the second half. Well, we've got a few minutes to go after that nice performance by the Hippo Band. A few minutes to go before we start second half, and we are very blessed and privileged to be joined by our Hutto ISD Superintendent, Dr. Selena Estrada Thomas, who has just completed her 3rd year with Hippo Nation, and you're launching into year number 4.
Yes, that's pretty
It's
exciting.
gone fast,
It
hasn't
has
it?
gone extremely fast. I feel like I've been here forever, in a good way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen a lot of neat things and a lot of growth and changes and a lot more to come, and we're actually sitting in a place right now that's going to see a lot of changes after this football season. And you know, you were talking during that performance, and you said, you know, we need to have the military flags of the different branches flying in the stadium, and well, that is actually on the plans. Henry Gideon has that plan for this the stadium upgrades when we change things up, and that's, you know, it's Hutto Memorial Stadium, and as you've been here long enough now to realize what an incredibly patriotic community this is, and how we certainly celebrate our veterans and everybody else, but those hold a special place in your heart too.
Very much so.
You've got a young man over in Okinawa, Japan, right? Talk a little bit about your son. You can brag on him.
I can brag on Mark, yes. So, you know, you say young man.
Well,
Mark just turned 37 years old on November the 1st, but he's been in the Marine Corps now for 19 years. I always say that he left me 9 days after his high school graduation. As a matter of fact, he was a senior when 9/11 hit. And I remember him coming to sit down and talk to me. He says, "Mom, you've got to let me go. You've got to let me forego my senior year so I can get in there. I have to go do my part." And so I remember my husband and I at the time sat down with him and I said, "Mark, please hold on. You will see action soon enough. Make it through your senior year. You're already enlisted. You'll be ready to go after graduation." And he says, "You know, I'm going to turn 18 on November the 1st. I said, "I know you're going to turn 18, and you can make that decision then, but I want you to respect what your mother is asking of you." So he did. I'm glad he did. But he's a hardcore Marine, inside and out. He's got uncles and cousins who have all served in the military, and it's just in his DNA, I suppose.
Well, and his venture over into Okinawa is relatively new because they were in South Korea last year, and he held kind of a special position over there too, didn't he?
Yes, he is a logistics officer. So, and he also had the unique opportunity to be assigned to one of the generals there who was assigned to the Asian Pacific Forces. So, he had a unique internship there for his last year. Just absolutely loved it.
So what is something like, you know, when you got here 3 years ago and you quickly realized, you know, we have things like Freedom Game and we celebrate Veterans Day unlike any other school district. I mean, we had almost 20 vintage World War II planes flying over Hutto today, circling our school district. We do that every year, weather permitting. And, you know, when you got here 3 years ago and you felt that, what did that mean to you?
Well, you may not know this, but that was actually one of the pieces of information that I held close to my decision to even apply to be the superintendent at Hutto ISD. As I was doing my research about the district, I realized how much they valued their veterans and how much they honored and how much it wasn't just the school district, but the entire community. So I knew applying to be the superintendent here would be, I would be a part of those honor traditions.
So as you, that's kind of funny, you can look over your shoulder and see yourself on the big screen giving a thank you to our veterans. And you could just stand here and just do it right here live and in person, right?
That's funny, me and my silly hat.
What, when you reflect back on your first 3 years in Hippo Nation, what are some things that really stand out to you?
Well, exactly this, the time-honored tradition, just the love of country, the love of the community, the love of the school district, And it's by everyone in this city, not just people who work for the school district. I think that's one of the characteristics I appreciate most about Hutto ISD is that you never feel alone. People come and rally. They come and rally for you.
As you look forward to your next few years, however many that's going to be in Hutto ISD, what are some things you have in terms of vision for our school district as we keep growing? And certainly the 9th grade center coming online next fall is a big thing. And what are some other things you're looking forward to?
I think definitely fulfilling our Vision 25 that we have now, aspiring to be that premier choice in education through innovation, leadership, and diversity. I say that to all of our new employees every single Monday because of where we're located. Our parents and our employees you can choose to go to Round Rock, to Austin, Pflugerville, Taylor, Thrall, Manor. You can choose. You have a choice of where you want to be. But I want Hutto ISD to be known for their innovation. I want us to be known for our leadership, and not just leadership from us or people who are administrators, but leadership from everyone from the crossing guard to the bus driver to the cafeteria serving line person, and obviously to all of our teachers and counselors and everybody who makes Hutto who they are. That innovative spirit is alive and well. We've been able to survive this COVID pandemic going with virtual instruction versus in-person instruction. Our teachers have just been phenomenal. And I know it's extremely hard work. Our teachers are spending countless hours trying to keep up with the demands of virtual instruction. And at the same time, being able to switch on a dime and go to in-person instruction if that's what's needed, because we have kids coming back in person.
What would you say to some of our parents that are listening, and just as an encouragement to them of the ones that are keeping their kids at home and even ones that are sending their kids to school right now? We're at about 62%, 80 to 38%. But what would be your encouragement to parents right now during this time?
I think the encouragement to our parents is that we're going to honor and respect what our parents want to do for their children. They feel it's in their best interest to keep them at home right now. We're going to support them, and we're going to provide quality education. By the same token, if they want to send their children to us in person, our safety protocols are solidly in place. Despite the fact that we've had some COVID cases, none of those cases have been because of an infection at school. The infections have occurred outside of school. As a matter of fact, this afternoon I was commending our custodial staff because they have been on the job since June. They were the first ones who reported to work. They continue to report to work tirelessly, keeping our facilities spotless and sanitized and clean and ready for kids and staff each and every day.
I was talking to Dr. Sermani, was our guest at the Coaches Show Monday night, and I asked him this, and I'll ask you the same thing, but how do you see COVID, the pandemic, and all the things that we've had to go through the last 7 or 8 months, how do you see that changing the future of education, or do you?
Well, I think we've always known that education occurs outside the walls of our classrooms. And I think this virtual setting, this virtual instruction, the push for that, has just accelerated the ability to offer instruction anywhere. We actually have a couple of kids who are receiving instruction in Iowa because the parents are first responders, and so they had to send their children to Iowa, but they didn't want to withdraw their children from Hutto ISD. I said, not a problem. You can still be a Hippo even if you're in Iowa. And so I think that's unique. And then we also have a set of kids in California.
Yeah, Dr. Sermani mentioned that he mentioned it at the Coaches Show, and I said, well, we have a former Hippo playing out in California, in Los Angeles, which is where that family is. We've got Chase Griffin out there at UCLA. And Dr. Sermani goes, I didn't even think about that. We need to get Chase to go over and tell him that there's another Hippo here in Los Angeles. Yeah, I mean, obviously, what we're all going through has changed how we look at everything and how we even think about things as we move forward and build things. And, I think it's just probably opened some eyes into safety and security and health in ways that none of us ever thought about. Before we wrap up, what's your talk about your enthusiasm about this 9th grade center that opens next fall?
Oh my goodness, that is going to be a state-of-the-art building. Talk about transforming education and really looking at offering our kids the ability to really embrace blended learning and in collaborative spaces, so that our kids are ready to enter the workforce. I mean, that's one of the number one skills that our employers tell us that they want kids to be able to do, to work with others and be able to communicate and have that team approach to problem solving and being able to feed off of each other's talents and skills. And so that's what we'll embrace over at the 9th grade center. I'm excited for Dr. Lakeisha Whitfield, who's going to be leading that center. I think she's going to be a phenomenal leader there.
Yeah, it's going to be a special place, and everything we seem to be building around here is special and new and cutting edge, and we've just had renovations in our elementary schools with our library spaces, and it's just, unfortunately, we're not able to let people in to see them right now.
I know we've not been able to show off our renovations, and the middle school renovations coming up. I know you had Henry on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about what we're doing there, especially with the fine arts expansions and spaces there for the kids. I think they're going to love them.
Well, once all this COVID stuff's done and we can let people back in, we'll just have to have special open houses all around the district for people.
Yes.
All right. Well, what do the Hippos need to do here in the second half to get back in this thing?
They need to run the ball. They need to throw the ball. They need to catch it too.
Okay. There you go. It's as simple as that.
It's as simple
as that. There you go. You need to go give the speech in the locker room next week. I'll tell Brad that. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Joining us.
All right.
Dr. Selena Estrada-Thomas, our superintendent. We are blessed to have her. We're at halftime. We're about a minute away from starting the second half. We'll take a commercial break. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football on SHN Sports.
A-Plus Federal Credit Union is a longtime supporter of Hutto ISD. Earn cash back and support Hippo Nation with the student-designed A-Plus FCU Hutto ISD Hippo debit card. When you use your Hippo debit card, you and Hutto ISD both earn up to 10 cents with every purchase. Hutto ISD has received over $71,000 in cash back from A-Plus FCU members since August 2016. Stop by the Hutto branch on Ed Schmidt Boulevard to get your card and start earning today. Membership required, insured by NCUA.
All right, we are just about set to start the second half. Hippos will kick off, hopefully riding a little bit of that momentum that they had going into halftime. There's a high pooch kick, going to be fair caught at the 35-yard line by number 4, Quade Hegvet. Well, we worked a little bit on Bryce's microphone and stuff, and it wasn't his microphone, it was his ability to hear us. And still can't hear us, Bryce, huh? Yeah, the crowd mic should be turned off. First and 10 for the Rangers at the 35-yard line. Kyle Brown's been able to pick the Hippos apart. High snap. He's able to corral it, swings a pass. Oh, out of the backfield, and the Hippos just can't make the tackle. Wow, to number 4, Quade Hegvet, and had a chance to stop him for pretty much no gain, and just couldn't make the tackle. So move it up to the 48-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. And Ryan, I think it's important for them to probably get a stop here early on. You don't want to give that. You don't want to give those points right back that you got right before halftime. But unfortunately, they keep going to number 4, Quade Hegvet, and he's doing some damage to the Hippo defense right now.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned earlier that we saw in the Round Rock game, we seemed like we had the momentum, and then they came out and scored on the very first play, and you almost were afraid that was going to happen here on the first play. But here now, after 2 plays, they're already in Hippo territory, and boy, we just you can't let them go down and score here. Down
at the 35-yard line. Handoff up the middle, lots of running room. First big run of the night for Vista Ridge across the 25, inside the 25.
Oh, we have a flag down on the backfield.
To the 23.
This one might be coming back. Yep. Well, and that might explain some of the gaping hole that he had to run through there, and you know, you figure that Hutto went into the we went in the locker room and made some adjustments, and obviously Vista Ridge knew that, and so they're coming out and kind of doing exactly the opposite of what they had success with in the first half, and that's just running it right up the middle.
Well, they've made us pay for mistakes. We need to make them pay for one, and that holding penalty moves them back to set up 1st down and 20 at the 45-yard line. So let's take advantage of that. Pressure look coming, and the Hippos jump off sides. You can't throw a flag. No, that's ridiculous. They did not know the play had stopped. Wow.
That's horrible.
So they throw a play. They run a play down that right sideline, and the receiver goes up for it. Our guy hits him, and they're going to call. So the Hippos are off sides, but now they're going to call probably a personal foul against Hippos, and that's a terrible call.
That's horrible.
Because they were still running the play, so what is our guy supposed to do?
Well, and I think Brad's wondering the exact same thing. They're waving it off, and that's good.
That would have been absolutely ridiculous.
Brutal. Yep.
So offsides will step them up 5 yards.
One flag in the play, and the defense offsides.
So get back 5 of that 10, be 1st down and 15 for the Hippos.
Well, you know, and you mentioned that not making them pay for mistakes. We did make them pay pretty heavily before halftime with that pick, and went down and scored a touchdown, almost a 14-point swing. And you kind of hoped that would be the momentum that we needed, and we could carry that on. And you can't let them drive down here and score and regain all that momentum.
Well, their coach is upset that they didn't keep that flag down there, but it's like your guys were still running the play. Our guys have to keep running the play too. 1st down and 15. Brown with 1 man in the backfield, 3 receivers right side. Another high snap, corrals it. Trying to move forward. Good job by the Hippo defense. Tackle number 22, Alex Bernalmeyer, before he can get going.
And didn't seem to have any issues with the snap in the first half, and now we've seen 2 of the 5 plays that have been run now have been high snaps.
Yeah, they don't seem to disrupt Kyle Brown very much, though.
No, but you know, that one probably did disrupt the timing of the handoff a little bit, and you see that he just kind of runs into a wall of defenders, and that's probably somewhat due to the high snap.
Look at this. 2nd down, they stack 2 receivers on each side, really in tight. Brown dropping straight back, being pressured by Landon Watson, scrambles out of it. Now he's being chased, turns, throws, left side, almost intercepted. Oh, boy, Joseph Teagle covering that one, and Brown was running to his left, throwing against his body, and probably an ill-advised pass. He had Landon Watson.
He had Landon coming
down
from
his
behind,
back,
and he had number 92, Charles Green, coming in front, and he had to get rid of that one quick, and boy, Joseph Teagle hit him right in the hands. It was kind of low, you know, not one that you expect him to make that interception on. It would have been an amazing play. And here we go. We got 3rd and long, 4-down territory.
Yeah, probably. Got to get a stop right here. 3rd and 15. 3 receivers right side for Brown. Dropping straight back. Pressure coming from both sides. He's going to be wrapped up and sacked at the 45-yard line. Guess who?
Do we
Landon Watson and Braylon Sugg. As I said last week, he was the meat of the Braylon Sugg and Landon Watson sandwich.
Oh, and I think that's the first time that those two have actually met back there to combine on a sack tonight. You know, we see that so often, but they've kind of been sharing the love so far, and you know, there's the teamwork we're used to seeing.
Absolutely.
What a huge stop.
Yeah, just, you know, don't take care of everything right here. Don't do anything silly. Well, I thought he fair caught it. Guess not.
Boy, you and I both.
Yeah. Bryce, welcome back. Glad to hear you.
Yeah, I got you now, so I'm enjoying the game again.
There you go. Gary Choice, yeah, I thought that he had fair caught
no,
it, but
he was waving everybody off, and I think he was,
I guess
you know,
his
kind of
hands
the
never
safe,
got
the safe signal.
Yeah,
you know,
his hands never got above
the
his shoulders.
Yep.
So the Hippos will take over 1st and 10, 22-yard line. Bryce, that was a big defensive stop for the Hippos to kind of take some of that momentum from halftime they had and then come out here, get a stop, and give their offense a chance.
Well, going in at half, walking in with the guys, there were a lot of them saying, hey, we got this game. So that was a huge start.
Handoff up the middle to Kyron Miller. That's his first big run of the night.
Yeah,
Powers forward for about 8 yards.
We say it every time he runs right up the middle. You just wonder why he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
He has so much success.
Hippo's trying to line up and go fast. Snap back to Will Hammond. Now he gets pressured, throws that away. He's probably going to get a grounding call. I don't think he got out of the pocket, and he didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage.
They don't
either.
seem to be
so interesting.
Even talking about it.
Might have gotten away with one right there.
Really no receivers
I can't believe that.
inside on this side of the field.
Nope, I think got away with one.
Yeah.
Well, let's take advantage of that gift. 3rd down and 2 yards needed. Split 3 receivers left. J.J. Banks in the backfield with Hammond. Snap back, rolling to his right. Going to turn it up field. Boy, it's going to be close. They're going to mark it. And he does have enough for the Hippo 1st down. Well, he is the freshman. He is not big, Bryce. We talked about that last week, but he's not afraid to run it.
Not afraid to run, and he's going to be sore tomorrow.
Yeah, he is.
He is taking some shots.
Well, he gave one at that goal line on that score, too. He likes to give them. Put a man in motion from left to right. Handoff going up the middle to Kyron Miller. Tackled as he crosses the 35-yard line to the 36. Picked up about 3 yards on the play.
Pick up of 3, but
it was a hard 3.
Yeah, no, he stayed north and south. He didn't try to cut it back. And
probably a conversation that was had at halftime.
Well, a conversation that's probably been had multiple times. I think they are waiting for the light bulb to pop on and for him to realize.
Jay Lambert goes in motion from right to left this time. Set up on that left side, give him trips on that side. Will throwing deep right side. It's got to be interference, right? Wow.
Yeah,
there comes the flag. You got 3 of them staring at it, and one of them finally decided to throw the flag. So going to be an interference call against the Vista Ridge Rangers. Yeah, he never turned around, and Jay really wasn't able to make a play on the ball.
You know, going back to the drive we had before halftime, so it's a holding, not a.
Yeah.
But three of our biggest offensive plays have been
penalties,
and you know sometimes that's what you got to do is just be in the right position to get those penalties called on you. And you know when you've got a dangerous receiver like a Damian Jones or like a Jay Lambert, that's what happens, and you can get those penalties, and that's part of the reason that you do throw deep. You see it so often.
Move it up to the 46-yard line. I have a thought I want to give you here in just a second after I watch that ref march that penalty off. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line for the Hippos. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Will looking right. Got a man wide open, Jay Lambert at midfield inside the 45, brought down at the 43-yard line. All right. Yeah, they always talk about trying to find ways to save time. Here's a silly thing. If you've got a ball at the 35-yard line and it's a 10-yard penalty, why does the ref take it all the way back to the 35 and then march off 10 yards? You know it's just going to be at the 45-yard line, right? Oh, Will.
Ooh, that was dangerous.
Be careful.
That was dangerous. He had number 33, Reed Runkle, right there in the passing lane.
33 for Vista Ridge had a lot of green.
Yeah, and he stuck a hand up to bat it down. It looked like he could easily just pick that one out of the air. And that's one that Will's fortunate to still have possession of.
Another blitz look by Vista Ridge. They have been bringing pressure all night long, and for the most part, Will's been able to escape it. You know, sometimes it means just throwing balls away, but he's taken some big hits too. But it looks like pressure again coming from that right side of the Vista Ridge, and in fact they are throwing pressure. He throws a pass to number 17, Damian Jones, in the right flat, and it goes for about a loss of a yard.
You just
gotta.
We're having so much success, everything else, and then you go back to the one thing that hasn't been working tonight, and that's that screen pass.
That hadn't been as good this year as we had it last year. I
No,
don't know
and
if it's the blocking,
it's the
timing.
it's the receiving blocking.
Yes.
You know, we don't have the receivers that are necessarily as inept to block.
No, I think they've got to start finding some things over the middle with this pressure like he's got coming right now. He's throwing deep. He's got a man open. Oh, just overthrows Damian Jones. And you can't blame Will for that one. I mean, he had so much pressure in his face. He had to get rid of it. But
Damian kind of
stopped
slowed
on it,
down, stopped on his
he
route.
didn't read that one very well.
I think if he had kept running it would have been in the end zone.
I think so too. Well, and again, Will Hammond shows the poise to just stay in there knowing he's probably about to get hit and releases that ball just in time. But, yeah, I saw that too, Bryce. It looked like Damian kind of slowed down. It goes over him by about a yard. So the Hippos will have to punt after what was looking like a promising drive.
Yeah.
Evan Gutierrez with the punt. Kick out of bounds right about there. Oh, not there. Takes a bad bounce for the Hippos. But still going to be
it does, but Evan's done a really good
line.
job tonight of punting and getting really good hang time and good positioning on the punt. I think it's been a wise decision to move away from Brody to Evan.
Yeah, I was talking to Evan down here in the first half and asked him how he enjoyed it, and he said he's still getting used to it and it still has a little problem with direction. But, man, he's been kicking the ball well.
Yes, he has.
Well, I'll say this. If the Hippos can play this second half like they played defense on their first possession and even how they moved the ball right there on offense, if they can play the whole half like they played these first two possessions, I think they've got a chance to win this game down 20-7. Snap back to Brown, swinging a pass right side out of the backfield to number 4, Quade Hegvet. We've called his name a lot tonight. Good job by the Hippos.
Yeah, I was going to say Hippos done a lot better job of keeping everything in front of them, especially on those swing routes early on in the game. We saw those kind of breaking for bigger gains and doing a good job outside on the corner. Anthony Martinez, Jose Pena of getting off those blocks and forcing them back inside where the help is.
Second down, 6 yards needed. Man in motion from right to left is Hegvet. Handoff going up the middle. A little bit of running room for number 22, Alex Bernalmeyer, but hits a wall of Hippos and going to be short of the first down by a couple. I gave the shout out before the game. I want to give it one more time just in case they weren't listening before the game. But, number 40, Elijah Estes for Vista Ridge. His mom is the director of health and safety for Hutto, Kendra Estes, and their family up in Illinois, the Estes family and the Patton family. They're listening in or watching from Illinois, so they've had a good night so far. There's that fake handoff and pass over the middle. Oh, caught and running away from the Hippos. Hippos are trying to strip the ball from number 13, Jacob Bowerman, and that's a nice pass and a nice catch.
Yeah, he fit that one into a really tight window. It looked like, I think that was Theo Anderson draped all over him, and after he caught that ball, tried to strip it from him, and fortunate that he didn't slip away and take that one to the house.
4:40 to go in the third quarter. Hippos trailing 20-7. Need to get a stop again. I mean, you're really in a position where you can't you almost have to pitch a shutout here in the second half,
more
right?
Or less.
This quarter's moving on.
It is.
We talked all year about our corners have been doing a really good job last few games, although, we talk about their size, and if you look at the two, mainly the wideouts for Vista Ridge, number 7 and 13, they're both good-sized kids.
Yeah. He's got a lot of weapons he can go to. This time hands off up the middle to number 22, Alex Bernalmeyer. Takes it across the 45 down into about the 44-yard line. Pickup of 3, second down and 7.
They do love getting those 3-4 yard gains on first down just to kind of stay ahead of the chains.
Yeah, and it sets him
and that
up.
running back just doesn't look like he's going to do much, but he's played a really good game.
Yeah.
He does exactly what he needs to.
Well, and they're just effective enough running the ball to continue to give Kyle Brown wonderful passing opportunities. That's got to be a hold, right? There's an interception by Brody Bueno at midfield. Return to the 40 to the 35-30 and run out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Brody just jumped right in front of that pass. Third interception of the night for the Hippos, and a fantastic field position for the Hippo offense as they're going to mark him out at the 20-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Kyle Brown kind of dropped down sidearm thinking he was going to find something, and he did, number 10 in orange.
Just jumped right in front of it.
He was reading that the whole way.
Kind of kept thinking Brody was going to turn it back in and get it to the middle field, but he ran that sideline. Tell you, though, I don't know if you saw, it looked like, I think it was Landon coming from that other side, just got tackled.
Yeah, no, I saw exactly what you were saying. Guess it didn't matter.
Didn't matter. Hippos, 1st and 10, positive territory at the 20-yard line, Vista Ridge territory. They need a score. Handoff goes to Kyron Miller up the middle at the 20, the 15, diving forward to the 12-yard line.
Well, what do you know? Straight up the middle. 8 yards. Good patience. Hard run. Falls forward at the end. I mean, that's
second down
textbook.
and 2. Hippos trying to go quickly like they like to do. There's a pass front corner. Just beyond the outstretched arms of Jay Lambert in that front corner of the end zone.
Yeah, it was a pretty well-run route and a good ball, and a safe ball. We talked about it earlier. When we put it to this right corner down here right before halftime, put it where only either Damien could catch it or nobody could catch it, and kind of the same thing with that back shoulder fade there to Jay Lambert on that top side, and just out of the reach, right off the fingertips.
3:03 to go in the third quarter. Hippos with it 3rd down and 2 at the 12-yard line. Vista Ridge territory trailing 20-7. Need to get these points after that big Brody Bueno interception. Going to have a illegal procedure call against the Hippos. Just can't do that.
That's killer.
Your 3rd and 2, boy, you're very manageable. And at 3rd and 2, you're like, you got probably 2 plays to pick up 2 yards, right? Now you move yourself back, and it's going to be 3rd and 7 at the 17. And, if you don't get it within a yard or so here, you're probably going to have to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, you would think so.
And if you're Will Hammond, you can't force anything here, too. You got to be extra careful. Gary Choice goes in motion from right to left, sets up on that side. Pressure coming, throwing over the middle. Just throws it a little too short. Intended for Jay Lambert coming across the middle. And that's the first really probably short arm pass we've seen Will Hammond throw. Most of his stuff has been pretty much on target, but that one bounced at the feet of Jay Lambert.
Yeah, I think he was hurried a little bit by the pressure, and maybe kind of wide-eyed with how open Jay was. I mean, he had nobody. There was no safety help across the middle, and he had him beat by about 3-4 yards, but just missed him.
Should be a 34-yard field goal attempt by Evan Gutierrez. And going to have another illegal procedure against the Hippos and going to make it a 39-yard field goal attempt. The stakes are just killing the Hippos right now, all night.
I'm not so sure that they're not barking out the calls, and they're not going to call it, but Vista Ridge, their defensive line all shifted at once at the exact same time as our guy jumped, and that's not illegal, but it is a kind of a borderline thing.
If they're doing it and they're barking at the same time, then that's illegal. So move it back. He'll spot it at the 29, be a 39-yard field goal attempt by Evan Gutierrez. Snap back, hold down, heavy pressure, it's blocked. Be picked up by the Hippos.
Got a flag down.
Brody Bueno trying to run with it. He's going to be wrapped up at the 31-yard line.
Again, I think they're going to call roughing. I think that's what the flag is, but that's not going to stand since it got blocked.
Since it blocked.
It wasn't even blocked. That wasn't just blocked. That was buried.
Almost picked off the tee.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was just a lot of pressure or if Evan kicked that one low. There's a lot of pressure.
That was a lot of
sure.
pressure.
Yeah, I thought his timing was good. They were just all over it. And I don't think Evan would have to kick it real low for 39.
Wow.
I'm not sure how you get roughing the kicker when you block it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well,
we had it happen
I think
against us.
That's what their coaches want to know, too.
wow. Well,
I have no idea and no explanation.
no, and
I didn't have it in the first half either, so I mean, that one was a little more questionable because
that was clearly blocked.
That one was clearly blocked. Ours was potentially deflected.
Well, we they got a free touchdown off of that bad call in the first half. Let's see if we can get a touchdown out of.
The only thing that I can figure
maybe
is
it hit
after,
one of our guys.
Well, or after the kick, there was like unnecessary roughness.
No,
but
that's not what they
I don't
called,
know.
though.
That's true. Will Hammond snap back.
That's
He's going to
Brody.
keep
Brody.
it. Oh, that's Brody at the 5, powering forward at the 1. I should have known that wasn't going to be Will on a straight keeper like that. So Brody takes it forward. I think it's going to should be a first and goal
and here comes
inside
a Brody
the 1 yard
touchdown.
line. You would think.
Let's go,
Snap
Brody.
back to Brody. Just powers, just tiptoes into the end zone for the Hippo touchdown with 2:04 to go in the third quarter. And what a break the Hippos caught. They do make Vista Ridge pay for that interception, and they've got it within a score now, 20-13. Point after attempt coming by Evan Gutierrez.
Well, and I guess let's call it even on the
Yeah.
field goal mishap turned into a touchdown. We've seen that both ways now, and boy, what a huge turnaround by the Hippos so far.
Very strange. Snap back, hold down, and that one is blocked. So heavy pressure. One guy got through there and was able to block the kick.
Matthew Windward, number 37, looked like he snuck through, and boy, you don't want to let guys come through the middle. If you're going to get a kick block, let them come off the edge, but you've got to secure that middle more than anything.
Yeah, I was about to say Vista Ridge miss extra point was looming large, but now we're
pretty much even on all fronts now.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because not that a missed extra point or blocked extra point should be deflating, but you did feel kind of a little bit of a air let out of the balloon there.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Hippos get that touchdown, cut it within one score, 20-13 with 2:04 to go. Hippos have reeled off 13 straight points, scored right before half, and now score on their second possession of the second half. It's a ball game with 2:04 to go in the third quarter. Is that the Vista Ridge fans that are booing over there?
Sounds like it. I don't blame them. I mean,
until there's some explanation of
I
why.
think it's also the Hutto fans.
Yeah, it's kind of funny back and forth.
That's funny.
Well, if I was them, I'd still be wanting an explanation on the block kick.
Well, maybe somebody can give us one after the game, but we'll take it. Eduardo Fernandez set to kick off for the Hippos. 20-13 score with 2:04 to go in the third quarter. Kicks it deep. It doesn't happen very often by Eduardo, does it?
No.
Fielded at the 15 on one hop and
great
doesn't even
play.
get it back to the 25-yard line.
Number 41 on the tackle. We don't have him on our roster.
Don't know who number 41 is.
Don't know who that is. He might have been a recent call-up.
Well, he might stay.
Yeah,
He keeps making
that
plays
was
like
an
that.
excellent play. See if he takes his helmet off.
Now what are they doing?
Kicking team, offside.
Oh my gosh.
5-yard penalty.
Just can't get out of our own way.
My favorite penalty in the entirety of football. Offsides on the kicking team. You make a good kick, a good tackle on a return, you're going to have them short of their own 25, and it comes back because
And let's go back to the touchdown. You score a touchdown, all the momentum, like you said, and then you get the kick blocked, and now you get an offside. I mean, just back-to-back plays that just you feel like all of the air has been let out, and it really hasn't. Right? I mean, we've cut it to a one-score game.
Kickoff on offsides on a kickoff drives me crazy. It's like, guys, you don't run across that line until that guy kicks the ball.
Well, they practice every day. You know, there's that timing is there. There's no reason that shouldn't be routine.
Plus, you don't want to have to run down there twice.
Now you got to run sprints.
Yeah, there's incentive.
I have a feeling now we'll see the pooch kick again.
Looks like it.
high pooch kick. Fielded at the 28-yard line. A little bit of room across the 35, up near the 40. Well, that penalty worked out really well for Vista Ridge. Number 23, Jonathan Clark.
Yeah, that was essentially a 15-yard penalty.
Yep. Yeah, instead of starting at their 23-yard line, they're going to start at the 42, so more like a 19-yard penalty. All right, well, Hippo defense has done a good job the last few series. Let's see if they can get a stop again, put the ball back in the hands of their offense that seems to have found a little something lately.
Yeah, and I mean, a Vista Ridge offense that has kind of lost its rhythm and mojo.
Yeah, I mean, you've picked Kyle Brown off 3 times tonight, so done a good job. Handoff up the middle for about 2 yards. Number 5, Grayson Deal. 1:45 to go in the third quarter. Hippos trailing 20-13.
Yeah, swallowed up there by Breland Davis, number 35, nowhere to run, and that's kind of been the story of the night.
I think you got a
in the running
Hippo
game.
cramping up down there.
Yeah, it looks like stretching him out.
Yeah, kind of wonder how many games in the last 2 years has All-State Kyle Brown been picked off 3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's had a
Well,
rough night.
He's
with
only
the
thrown
Hippo.
4 interceptions all year before tonight, and he's almost doubled that.
Well, and I think a lot of the credit for those picks can go to the pressure they've been able to get on him. And you know, we talked to Adam Harvey before the game, and he said that they were probably Vista Ridge would probably see some things from the Hippos, some looks that they have not seen on film or in any other scouting, and that's probably the case. And you know, they've kind of bounce back and forth between that 3 front and 4 front.
Most people don't have a Suggs and Watson.
No, right? So second down and 10 for the Rangers.
Looked like it was a cramp, by the way.
Yeah,
classic.
I think that's all it was.
Because it's not hot.
There you go. You're always on that. Pressure look by that Hippo defense. Boy, he's got a man right over the middle on a slant. That's a fumble.
Oh, that's a
His
helmet.
Boy.
that was Joseph Teagle's helmet. Boy, I thought that was
Jacob
the football.
Bowerman took that slant over the middle, wide open, was running with it, got hit at the 40, and we saw something go flying, and I think we all had hopes it was the football.
Everybody thought
Everybody
it was.
on the sideline, the coaching staff, everybody yelled fumble, fumble, and
If only you could pick up a helmet and run with it. 1st and 10. Didn't get the pressure on Brown that time, and he had time to find his man streaking over the middle. Ball at the 40-yard line. 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Hippos trailing 20-13. Deal in the backfield with Brown. Get some pressure, setting up a screen. Well read,
Nowhere to
defended
go.
by the Hippos.
Looked like that was
Brody
Brody.
Boyo
Yep.
over there to wrap that up.
Brody, Braylon Davis over there.
I tell you one name we haven't called much
Zane Bolden.
tonight. Yes, we had him on the coach's show Monday night.
We got it all out of our system.
Yeah, we said we call his name all the time, and they've done something to kind of neutralize Zane.
Ultimate team guy.
I
He's letting
guarantee
everybody
he's
else.
doing his job.
Yes,
Absolutely, he is. A lot of time, all kinds of time for Brown. Now pressured. Now he's just going to throw it out of bounds.
Well, great cover.
Yeah, that was absolutely coverage. He couldn't find anybody open.
He had number 3 Tanner Brosey kind of weaving his way throughout the middle and going from open to not open to open. He was open more often than not, but he never had the time to set and find him and force the throwaway here. 3rd and long. 4 down territory.
Yep. 3rd down and 14. Yes.
It seems like they've been here a lot
for
tonight,
a guy
huh?
over the middle, but Zane Bolden had him covered.
That's right.
There you go.
So
play of the night so far.
Empty backfield for Brown. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Snap back. He's got a lot of time. There's another hold that's not called, being pressured from behind. He's going to run with it. Crosses the 40, hit hard as he crosses the 40 down at the 39-yard line. Still going to be 9 yards short. Yeah, now you wonder, will they
gonna
punt it
this.
here and try to pin the Hippos, or are they going to take their chances?
They'll have the quarter to think about it.
So that play does end the third quarter, and that was a great third quarter for the Hippos. Saw the game kind of change for them right before halftime, and they came out with that spark in the third quarter. We've played 3 here at Hutto Memorial Stadium. Vista Ridge 20, Hutto 13. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football and SHN Sports.
ACDI, Al Clausen Disposal supports the Hippo Nation. ACDI is a locally owned family company that specializes in solid waste services, including residential, recycling, commercial, and roll-off. Al Clausen Disposal has grown into a top 100 ranked corporation. Their mission is simple. They're committed to providing safe, reliable, and environmentally sound waste solutions at cost-effective rates while embracing new ideas to reduce the carbon footprint. Al Clausen Disposal, your local choice for all your collection and disposal needs. ACDI says go Hippos!
Well, a good third quarter for the Hippos puts them right back in the ball game. They trail at 20-13, and now a really big play to start the fourth quarter here as the Hippo defense trying to get a stop on Vista Ridge. They face a 4th down and 9.
And you wonder if you're going to see the
quick
pooch
kick.
punt.
Wondering the same thing.
Yeah,
at the
I think so.
39-yard line, or they're going to try to draw the Hippos off sides.
They're not
now
going
he's
to
going to run up.
Yeah.
Don't jump it, guys. Be smart. He'll probably snap. Yeah, now he drops back into punt formation. High snap. Brown corrals
Watch
it.
out.
Just a line drive. Bounces at the 20. Going to roll across the 15, down inside the 15, be killed at the 14.
That's
but
huge.
The Hippo defense does their job again. And Hutto will take over at their own 14-yard line, trailing 20-13 with 11:52 to go in the ball game.
Well, like I said, walking in with the guys at half, mainly the defensive guys, they felt good where they were and felt good that they could shut them down this second half.
Well, yeah, I mean, they
so
shut
far,
them down
so
pretty
good.
much in the first half.
Well, Vista Ridge had 3 possessions in that third quarter. They punted, they had an interception, and then that one was basically a punt one play into the fourth quarter. Hippos only had the ball 2 times in that third quarter. But they get it to start the fourth, trailing 20-13. Kyron Miller bounces it outside at the 20, 25, and then run out of bounds. Near the 30. He's the Vista Ridge defender.
Boy,
number 27 is the one that went flying, Axel Allen. And
and that should have been offensive face
Yeah,
mask,
I was
and he
thinking
got
that
away
too.
with that.
Well, when you're that far out of bounds, I guess nobody can see it.
He tossed him from the white line to the track.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Well, and
Nice
that was an
pickup.
effective bounce outside.
Yeah.
He's
he'll tell you, he'll show you. You keep telling him he's got to keep it inside.
and a good job down there by Damian Jones keeping the block going on number 2 Bird Malachi.
Blitz look coming from Vista Ridge. Heavy pressure. Oh, just overthrowing. Will Hammond kind of locked into Gary Choice coming over the middle. He had a blitzer coming from his right side that was just zeroed in on him. You know, last week you talked about how Will did such a great job of working through his progressions against Stony Point, but he hasn't had time tonight to work through any progressions.
No, he is not. It's been one
read and go. You
don't get
much progress there.
No.
You better have one and go.
Absolutely. Second down and 10, ball at the 28-yard line. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Kyron Miller in the backfield with Will Hammond. 11:41 to go in the game. Snap back, straight drop. Pressure coming again, trying to set up a screen. Screen with no blockers.
Yeah.
Kyron Miller takes it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
They were looking screen to the left side. I think Kyron was there more of just an outlet.
He was kind of the relief valve on that side.
And again, that's another thing that Will did a good job of last week is finding that safety valve.
Hippos try to go fast right here. Pushing it up the middle. Going to be close. I think he's going to be short by about a yard. And, yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, we question plays ever so often, but I don't know. You got 3rd and 3, maybe should – instead of rushing that play, I don't know. Maybe take the time and design a good play. We never seem to go – things don't usually go well for us when we do the hurry-up after a big play.
This is where if you had Brody still punting, you might be thinking something. But
yeah.
I bet we could snap. We got Jacob Randall's there up at the up back. Snap it right to him. Let him run.
Oh my goodness. Evan Gutierrez kicks it straight up in the air as he's going to get a favorable bounce. But, yeah, the ball was rolled back to Evan. He picked it up, and I thought he was going to be able to get the kickoff, but then he dropped it.
Yeah, just lucky to get that off.
Golly.
Number 31, McCarty.
That was just.
Yeah, that's.
Guess it could have been worse.
Could have been, but that is unfortunate. I mean, you kind of feel like you're about to go on a drive, and boy, I didn't realize that it was third down when we ran up and ran that play. I thought it was second down.
No, that was my point of like you're running a quick play on 3rd and 3. It's like you might want to take your time and call a good play, but Vista Ridge take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line and Hutto into the field. So a big break for the Rangers right there. Hippos, again, kind of their own worst enemy. Hand off to number 22, Axel Bernelmeyer, and picks up about 2 yards.
Alex.
What did I say?
Axel.
Oh, because Axel
Different
was
Axel.
number 27. Axel and Alex. Thank you.
What's Axel's last name?
Allen.
What's
Allen,
22's? What's
that's
22's?
Alex
Berndelmeyer.
Okay, there you go.
Brindelmeyer, I think is how it's pronounced. No, Berndelmeyer.
Berndl. I don't know. Who knows?
They have some hard pronunciations on their name, on their roster. 2nd down and 8. Heavy pressure. Oh, just gets it away. Good job by the Hippos to limit that one. Pass complete to number 35, Dayton Baumgartner.
Yeah, pressure put on there by Landon, and then
Yeah,
David
then
Oko was he almost swatted it out of the
yeah.
air or even picked it off, and it was well done by Kyle Brown to get it out to his receiver and pick up positive yardage.
Tell you what, Kyle Brown's going to come away from this game with a heavy respect for the Hippo defense, I think. So 3rd down and 7 needed. Ball's at the 42-yard line, 9:12 to go in the ball game. Hippos trail by 7. Fake the handoff. There's that pass over the middle. Boy, this just worked really well for them all night long. Dayton Baumgartner is able to. They do that little, basically that little play action.
Yeah, it's that RPO, the Baylor type offense. You know, you fake the run and suck the linebackers up and just throw it right over the top of them.
Well, you had Boulding on a blitz, and you know that fake was enough to get Brody up a little bit, and they go right over that.
Yeah, it's been very successful.
Just
for
one step opens it up.
1st and 10.
There you go.
Handoff, pickup of about a yard.
There was Zane. Zane was in there to get that tackle.
Zane Boulding tackling number 22, Alex Berndelmeyer.
It's unfortunate. You're going to get so good at these names and then not be able to call them again after tonight.
Be simple names next week probably. 8:20 to go in the ball game, 20-13. Hippos trailing. They got to get a stop, and boy, you can't let them score because now you're going to start facing score and clock if you fall behind by 2 scores. Brown with all kinds of time to throw the ball. He's got a man at the 21-yard line, turns it back inside at the 15, hurdles a Hippo.
Wow.
Inside the 10 and brought down at about the 8-yard line.
Well, he got away with one there.
I couldn't tell who he hurdled, but that's always a risky decision. But
usually doesn't end up good. But
no, but when it does, that can be a huge momentum
4 or 5
thing.
more yards there.
What are you going to say? I guess he must have stepped out of bounds at the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 10 for Vista Ridge. Well, you need a mistake by the Rangers here for sure. Brown swinging a pass out of the backfield, and nice job by the Hippo defender.
Joseph Teagle.
Teagle coming in to limit that one
Yeah,
to
he
about
came
a
in hot.
3-yard gain.
You know, that's why Quaid Hegvet felt comfortable hurdling is we've been going low all game. You know, we've got some kind of undersized guys in the secondary, and a lot of times that's how they got to make those tackles, and that's the downside to going low is every once in a while you go low and you kind of lose sight of the guy you're trying to tackle.
7 minutes to go. 2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line. Brown looking right, throwing middle, tipped away, intended for number 13, Jacob Bowerman, who's been his man all night long, and that one just a little too high.
Oh, and Kyle Brown took a shot there, he's feeling it right now. It was kind of a miscommunication. He was trying to fake left, and the running back went right and threw the timing off, and it didn't have a blocker there. And that was, he took a big hit.
Who was able to
I
get
couldn't
in
tell
on
who
it.
it was.
In fact, I think their coaches, they might let this play clock run out knowing that he might need a little bit of time to rest. Nah, maybe they're going to go ahead and run it. 3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line. Snap back. Heavy pressure now, swinging out of the left side and getting into that
And
front
his little
corner of the
running
end zone
back
for
on
the
that
touchdown is number 22, Alex Berndlmeyer.
Yeah, and that was
Just
that wheel route.
Just swung out of that backfield, and there was no Hippo to
No, they
catch
scored
it.
on the exact same play in the first half, just coming down to this short side, and went back to the well one more time, going top side, and that is a killer score right there.
Yeah, that's going to put them back up by 2 touchdowns with 6:47 to go in the ball game. Hippo defense had done such a great job. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. 6:47 to go in the ball game. It's now Vista Ridge 27, Hutto 13. You're listening to Hutto Hippo football on SHN Sports.
Hutto Family Eye Care has partnered with Hutto ISD for almost 10 years. Hutto Family Eye Care has been the leader and preferred provider of quality vision care products and personalized service to patients in Hutto. Their doctors use only the most advanced, state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. Give your vision the level of care and attention it deserves. Hutto Family Eye Care on Exchange Boulevard, across the street from the post office.
Well, that Vista Ridge Ranger touchdown puts them up by 2 scores, 27-13, with 6:47 to go in the ballgame. And that one was really set up. You got kind of 2 plays. You had that 3rd down and 3 for the Hippos that they tried to run quickly, and they came up a yard short, ended up having a punt. And then Evan Gutierrez on that low snap just really couldn't get that punt away cleanly and set Vista Ridge up with great field position at the Hutto 46. And they were able to punch it in on a 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line.
Yeah, and once again, good job by the Vista Ridge offense to capitalize on a mistake by the Hippos, and that's been the story of the game. Is capitalizing on those mistakes.
Well, now the Hippos obviously
Must
you have to
score
get
now.
this ball. You must score and must get a stop and must
You
score
got to do
again.
it quick too.
Kickoff return at the 20, 25, 30, 35. Why did he turn it outside instead of back in? Across the 40, still pushing forward. Just a rugby scrum in front of the Hippo bench right there.
Yeah, I'm like you, Todd. He had a
Boy,
he had a lot of green back to the
I
inside, to the
know,
middle
like-
of the field.
And the way he can cut and run, if he had just put one step and turned back inside, he just
That
didn't
would've,
see it.
That would have closed the gap in a hurry there.
Yeah, that would have been
Nice.
quick.
Still good starting position for the Hippos at the 43-yard line where they're going to mark it. Well, if you're the Hippo offense, you have to be efficient, but you have to be fairly quick and get down and score with 6:37 to go, and then give your defense a chance to get a stop again.
I think we're gonna get a roll out here.
Will Hammond or a straight drop, throwing out of
Oh,
the back
boy.
to the left side. Boy, that one very dangerous. Almost almost picked off by number 18, Bryce Small.
Yeah, and he read that the whole way. J.J. Banks coming out of the backfield on that wheel route, and if he gets it to him maybe a half second quicker, he's probably got room to catch that and run. Or if he waits a little longer, he might be able to turn that up and kind of dump it over the top. But
yeah,
I just don't think Will saw him coming out that quick and got away with one.
2nd down and 10, 6:34 to go. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Miller in the backfield. Heavy pressure coming from the left side, and Will is hit and buried at the 33-yard line. Well, he just never had a chance on that one. Blind side coming, and with the last second saw him, but probably saw him and was able to turn just enough to keep from getting hurt. But now you're faced with a 3rd and, 18 yards to go.
yeah, and
Ooh.
at this point, get half of it back. You don't have to get the first down here on 3rd down. Get it to 4th and 10, 4th and 8, something that you can convert. You're going for it, down 2 scores with 6 minutes left.
They have just been bringing pressure all night, and the Hippos just really haven't picked it up. Here they come again. Heavy pressure. He's flushed at the 35. Just tripped up. One man got him, number 44. Jake Robertson reached up and tripped him up, and the Hippos really have no option but to punt with 6:09 to go in the ball game, trailing 27-13. But you're faced with a 4th down and 17 yards. I think you pretty much
we
have to.
might just go back to that last 4th down, that 4th and 1. That was kind of easy to look back now, but that was
Well,
a big play.
I think, like I said, it was the third down that was trying to do that hurry up offense on third down. Nice punt by Evan Gutierrez. Going to kick out at the 27, 28-yard line, about where they'll punt it or spot it.
I believe so. Yeah, and I think you're right. I think you have to punt there, but it's almost by punting there, you're almost saying, kind of conceding this one.
No, I mean you can get a stop right here, get a score, onside kick. There's time to do this.
Yeah, I think you
still
got
have 3 timeouts left.
I think it's more likely that you convert a 4th and 18.
I don't know about that.
I'm sure there are some numbers on it somewhere. Somebody's crunched the numbers.
Sound like father and son up there.
It's the math guy who's always into the probabilities of
it's
things.
the statistics of it.
That's exactly right. Now there's a big run across the 30 up near the 35. The mark at the 34-yard line. Number 22, Alex Bernalmeyer. Called his name a lot.
I mean, how often are you going to convert a 4th and 18? Maybe once out of every 10?
I think you got to consider your offense and their defense. I'm not sure we would do that once out of every 10 times.
Well, you throw it deep and potentially get a pass interference too. I mean, that's that's always in play.
We've intercepted Kyle Brown 3
they're
times
not
tonight. There's a ball on the ground. Snap was back to Kyle Brown, and I think he wasn't ready for it.
Well, they thought we jumped off sides and thought we were going to get a free play. They didn't call off sides, and they snapped it.
Tell you, lucky it was a good snap. It hit him right in the stomach and kind of fell right in front of his feet.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have it like ricochet off his shoulder pads or something. So 3rd down and 7 needed by Vista Ridge, using up lots of clock.
Yeah, I think you call a timeout if you stop him here.
Oh, absolutely. 3 receivers right side, single receiver left, 1 man in the backfield. Bertelmeyer with Kyle Brown, and now Vista Ridge calls a timeout with 4:23 to go. No, yeah, I think you definitely, if you can get a stop here, hold them to 4th down, you absolutely call a timeout.
But if you're Vista Ridge, you might think about, it's probably worth the risk throwing the ball here, too, to try to get the 1st down.
Yeah,
there's, it's still 4.5 minutes left.
And I say there's about an 80% chance they'll do that quick little play action pass over the middle to
Jacob Bowerman. 13.
Bowerman will, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, no. If they're going to run that, they're going to end up hitting Dayton Baumbarger.
I don't know. Bowerman's been his go-to guy over the middle on their critical situations.
Either that or the wheel route.
What's your call, Bryce?
Man, I was just thinking the way this game started with number 7 out there that split out left, I thought, man, he's going to wear us out all night, but he's been pretty quiet since then.
Thinking he's due?
Yeah, he's got several to choose from.
Well, it's not going to be 13 over the middle because he's split over here wide right. Dropped by Brown. Heavy pressure and going to be sacked. Landon Watson.
Man, how many sacks is that for 21 tonight?
He has had some ball game.
And we're not calling timeout.
We're not calling timeout. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, you're not going to get that 40 seconds back.
No. You got 3 of them, and it's down to 4 minutes now, inside of 4 minutes, and Vista Ridge is going to let as much time run as they can.
Need a Gary Choice return.
Yeah. I guess the hope is that you're going to have those timeouts. You're going to score and then have those timeouts on your next defensive possession. There's a lot of ways to look at it. Punt away. Those little helicopter spins. Choice fields it at the 35 and then brought down immediately.
Dangerous. Well covered there.
Yeah, but good job by Gary to get it before he lets it bounce past him.
Well, because if it bounces past him, not only is he giving up extra yards, he's giving up probably an extra 5 or 10 seconds while that ball's rolling around. So,
I tell you, I feel pretty good about anything Gary goes after. He's got a good set of hands.
Well, he has definitely made a difference on punt returns of not letting those balls get past him and get an extra 10, 15, 20 yards on the roll.
I think we got to try to find Carson Forrest here again. He's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, he started off the game, pretty involved.
First and 10 for the Hippos at the 34, 3:34 to go. Heavy pressure coming by Will again. There's a pass to Gary Choice. His knee was down when he caught it. You got to hurry. Go because you didn't get the first down. Pickup of 9. Going to be second down, 1 yard needed.
Well, and they don't have Iman Allen in a corner right now. You got to look at number 29, who's taking his place.
Another little. Gary. Bryce, that's on you.
That's on you, Bryce. I think you did that 3 or 4 weeks ago, too.
I said on punt returns. I didn't say receiving.
I thought you said
he
anything.
Said he's got a good set of hands.
That one.
Problem is he tried to use his stomach there.
Yep, in and out of the hands of Gary. So third down and 1. Stops the
Guessing
clock with
he's got a
to go.
pretty good stomach, too.
3:15 to go. Third down, 1. Ball at the 43-yard line. You got to get this first. Keep the drive going. Trailing 27 to 13. Powers forward for the first down. Ball going to be marked at the 48-yard line for the Hippo offense. You got to line up quick.
Number 26, Banks, the ball carrier.
3:10 to go while they reset the clock or reset the downs.
First and 10.
Snap back. Hammond throwing right side, intended for Jay Lambert.
I think he was out of bounds.
Out of bounds, and don't think he caught it anyway. Just still not really looking a lot over the middle.
No, and it seems to have it's been open. But the problem with the middle is you got to have the time to throw it.
Right.
And you've got to be able to see it.
Right.
And when you got guys in your face, it's
well, and they've been bringing pressure from both sides up the middle. It's like it's been pretty unpredictable. Second down and 10. Gary Choice goes in motion from left to right. Another pressure look coming. Here they come. Swinging a pass to Gary Choice at the 50-yard line, but going to be brought down at the 49. Only picked up about 3 yards. 2:45 to go in the ball game.
Third and 7.
Obviously, you got 2 downs here to get 7 yards. Snap back to Hammond, looking left. Now pressure coming. Tries to escape it. Releases it to J.J. Banks in the flat. Runs it out of bounds. Good job by Will to I thought he was going to turn it up and run at the last second. He saw J.J. over on that left sideline, completes it. Banks takes it forward for the first down to the 42-yard line with 2:31 to go in the ball game.
Well, I tell you, that's the luxury of having Banks in there at running back. It's having an extra receiver, and well, he just kind of sat out there waiting as a safety valve and paid off.
2:31 to go. Hippos, I say, you got to score probably within the next 45 seconds.
Well, you've got 3 timeouts though. You still look onside kick.
Will scrambling to his right.
That's coming back
against the Hippos. He avoids a tackle. Now brought down at the 35.
Yeah, we're going to get a face mask, so we'll have offsetting.
Yeah, you had a hold against the Hippos, but, yeah, I think you're going to have a face mask against Vista Ridge. Bad news is a bunch of time ran off on that play, down to 2:19.
I wouldn't say a bunch of time.
Well, relatively speaking at this point of the game.
Fouls on the play. Holding. Offense. Number 65. Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Those penalties all set. Replay. First down.
To it. I think tonight the ref mics are the best they've ever been.
Boy, they are clear and loud, aren't they?
Yeah. So offsetting penalties. Still first and 10 for the Hippos at the 42-yard line. 2:19 to go. Heavy pressure coming. Will, you got to get rid of it. Throws it away to Gary Choice, boy.
Yeah, Will took a shot there.
It is just every time they're bringing this pressure. You got to dial something
They brought
up.
him as a long time coming, but he made it. And
yeah. Well, somebody's about to be open, streaking down either the sideline or maybe even quick post route, but
he's probably seen some blitzes that he hadn't seen before.
Yeah, he's gonna dream about them. Now he's got time. Now he's flushed. Cuts back at the 40. Brought down at the 37-yard line. Clock continues to
go.
run. Now 2 minutes
Third
to
down?
go in the ball game. Yeah, third down and 6 yards needed.
Get set.
Snap back, pressure coming. It's deflected.
Boy, that's too bad because
he
Gary
had
was
Gary Choice wide open in that left flat and had some running room too. So it's come down to this one, 4th down and 6 for the Hippos. Ball at the 42-yard line. Vista Ridge into the field, 1:52 to go in the ball game. You got to pick it up right here. And you know they're going to be bringing the pressure again. But it just almost seems like they're playing with 15 guys on defense. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they've got everybody covered, and they've got pressure in the face every time.
Probably look for Jay, but he just kind of switched back into the slot, so.
Throwing deep right. He has got a man. Oh, just overthrows him. Intended for Carson Forrest, the 10-yard line. And it's not a bad look.
No, that's a decent pass there, and one again that you're hoping for either a good catch or a pass interference, and it was pretty well played. It was a good ball, and Carson had a chance, just kind of misread it in the air and couldn't get his body turned, and boy, that'll do it, I believe.
Yeah, so it falls incomplete with 1:46 to go, and Hippos trailing 27-13. And you know, it really felt like if they could have gone down and gotten a score there and still had minute and a half left, they might have had a chance to do something. But you're going to see Vista Ridge probably just try to run this one out. Still throwing, though. Kyle Brown swinging a pass left side.
I guess when that's your offense, that's kind of what you do.
Kind of an extension.
I guess. See if the Hippos use their timeouts with 1:37 to go. Looks like they're going to, but probably at this point that's pointless because that was a first down. So at this point they could pretty much run it out. Well, this will move the Hippos to 2-2 in district play.
Yep, with
you got
a couple tough tests ahead too.
I mean, you've got games against Vandergrift, Westwood, and Cedar Ridge remaining, and
you got to go.
I think two of those are winnable. Vandergrift's going to be pretty tough. I'm not sure anybody's beaten Vandergrift this year is going to beat Vandergrift this year, but I think the Hippos, given again you play the comparison game, and I think Hippos can certainly beat Westwood and Cedar Ridge.
Yeah, well, and they have to.
Yeah,
at this
absolutely.
Point. I think I haven't done the math on it, but I believe you win those two.
Should be
probably end up 4th place.
Right.
I think that's right.
That just kind of losing that Round Rock game kind of put us behind the 8 ball of what I'd kind of looked at and figured out, and going in tonight, win this one had been a huge help.
Kyle Brown just falls down. Scores from our district tonight: Round Rock beat Stony Point 45-6, not a surprise. Cedar Ridge beat McNeil 34-7, not a surprise. And of course, we mentioned Vandergrift beat Westwood last night 38-7. So, I think what that's going to do is that's going to put. Let me see if I can get back to the standings. Let's see. Vandergrift is 4-0 in district now. Vista Ridge is going to be 4-1 after this ball game. Round Rock.
So you got to figure those two are in.
Yeah, Round Rock is. It said 3-1. I don't know if that's already updated or if they're now 4-1. Huh. That's updated. They're 3-1. We're going to be 2-2. Cedar Ridge is 2-2. Westwood 1-2. Stony Point and McNeil are out of it at this point. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. If we control our own destiny.
Well,
if we beat Cedar Ridge and Westwood.
I don't know, actually.
Well,
because Vista Ridge and Round Rock are both going to have tiebreaker over us. Well, okay.
I think if
you're
we
right.
beat Cedar Ridge and Westwood,
we control our own district.
unless one of them pulls an upset of somebody along the way.
I don't think so.
Because they each have
Round
2
Rock
losses.
Round Rock and Vista Ridge have both already played Vandergrift, correct?
Yeah, Vandergrift will finish first.
Vandergrift.
Vista Ridge and Round Rock will be second and third. And then it's us, Cedar Ridge, and Westwood playing for the 4th spot, and we still play both of them. So if we beat Cedar Ridge and Westwood, then we ought to be able to grab that 4th playoff spot.
Man, I'll tell you, looking at some scores from around the area tonight, Wimberley, who, man, several weeks ago we were talking about one of their scores.
Yeah.
Start of the 4th quarter, Wimberley 80. Austin Achieve High School Polar Bear 0.
Why are they even playing them?
Wimberley was mad that they were put in that district.
Yeah, I mean that's
really pleaded with UIL to get them out, and they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I think they're just kind of proving a point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean that helps nobody.
Let's say you checked on Cedar Park. Speaking of blowing people out.
What about Weiss? 60-0 at halftime, Cedar Park.
I'm telling you, I think Cedar Park is probably going to win a state championship this year. I'll just make that call.
Tell you, who Weiss had Pflugerville and
Weiss
Pflugerville
lost
27
to 20 to Pflugerville. Too bad for Van. Minute to go in this ball game. 4th down, so Vista Ridge, I'm sure, will punt right here. So Hippos will get the ball with about 30 seconds left, but they're trailing 27-13, so not enough time to do anything here. Yeah, Cedar Park, their final 60-7 over Leander. You said they had 60 at halftime, Gage? Yeah, well, kind of took the foot off the gas.
Cedar Park seconds this year probably have the stats of their starters.
I'm telling you, they are.
Well,
they are good.
You know, kind of when they. Knowing Vandergrift be good this year, when they that first of the year 21-7 over Vandergrift, you kind of figured that Black Rain defense was going to be stout, and
it is.
You knew Ryder Hernandez and that offense was going to be good.
I said a Facebook message with Philip Pierce the other day, and I said something about I'm glad we're not in y'all's district this year, and he said, "Yeah, we're pretty good."
You know, I'll tell you, somebody I thought was going to be better. Manor took it on the chin from Hendrickson, 52-27 tonight.
They did.
Kind of been a disappointing year for Manor because they've got a lot of good kids.
Yeah, in a district that they probably felt like they could finish second in.
Yeah, I mean, you got Georgetown sitting there, but.
So Georgetown, so here's how good Cedar Park is. So Georgetown, with 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, they're ahead of Anderson 42-34. So, you know, Anderson's not a bad program.
But
they're respectable.
What Cedar Park beat them last week?
82-0.
Yeah, that's crazy.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. So, yeah, Cedar Park is just I think they're in a league of their own around these parts this year. They're probably on a collision course of, I don't know who it is they would play, but you know, did he kill that at the one? Nah, I think he got into the end zone. So that punt going to roll into the end zone with 22 seconds left, and we'll just about call this one a wrap. I don't know about y'all. I've smelled
barbecue.
Something burning like most of the night.
I thought I've smelled South Side all night.
That could be
it
what
does
it
look
is.
like there's some
sort
of smoky kind of.
Yeah. Maybe it is South Side.
That's I was telling Lauren that's their best advertising.
Just the smoke smell?
Yeah.
Yep.
Boy.
Generally is. Well, Bryce, I'm glad we had you. Had everything working for you there in the second half.
Enjoyed it.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of missed listening to you guys first half.
Yep. Well, it was a better second half until just a few minutes ago. Probably one last play here. Will Hammond swinging a pass out of the backfield to the 25, 28-yard line. Will be brought down, and with 10 seconds to go, I doubt Hippos are hurrying as though they're going to try to get another snap off, but not sure they can be able to with 5-4, 3, 2, 1, and they don't. Well, might have saved Will from one last hit.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, this one, the way it started off, it was not looking good for the Hippos. They certainly turned it into a ball game. The score right before halftime to make it 20-7, and then I would say the Hippos dominated the third quarter, had it at 20-13, and really had a chance to get back in it, and then just had a couple of very unfortunate things there late in the third quarter or early fourth quarter, I guess, and gave them good field position that they capitalized on. But you walk away from this one, I guess, encouraged even further about the Hippo defense, which has been a hallmark for them. Will Hammond did a good job again as a true freshman playing in his second game. Saw a lot more pressure, obviously, than he did last week against Stony Point, and but still impressed with his poise and ability to stand in there with the rush coming at him.
Well, he held the ball till the last second on a lot of throws that he completed and took some shots. He's going to be sore tomorrow. So
he is.
But yeah, for a freshman, that was a good learning experience. You kind of got to learn by fire, and like I said, he saw a lot of blitz packages tonight that probably hadn't seen in freshman football or in junior high. And it's a learning experience.
Well, and what it does, and we talked about this with Brad at the coaches show Monday night, is it now puts it's a situation where any team that we play from now on has to really scout three quarterbacks. They got to look at Will, they got to look at Brody, and then obviously they look at Grayson. So
it's a good situation for the Hippos to be in, especially with all of them underclassmen.
Absolutely, and it just for the teams that are having to get ready for us, it's just one more thing and one more thing that takes up time and confusion potentially for them. Well, the final score again from Hutto Memorial Stadium on our Freedom Game night is Vista Ridge 27, Hutto 13. We will have the coaches show Monday night live from Rio Grande Restaurant here in Hutto. Invite you to come out and join us. We have a lot of fun there at the show, and certainly we'll talk about this game. We'll talk about looking forward to next week, and we're at that point now. We can start kind of doing what Ryan and I just did a while ago and start talking to Brad about playoff possibilities and what the Hippos have to do going forward. But a game that there were some positives to take away from this one. There were some negatives, but season's not over for the Hippos, and they still have a chance to do some things and get into those playoffs here in a few weeks. Final score: Vista Ridge 27, Hutto 13. For Bryce Doggett down on the sidelines, Ryan Robinson, my color man, and Gage Bowles doing the engineering. We appreciate you watching Hutto Hippo football. We hope you have a great weekend, and join us for the coaches show Monday night at 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.